Everyone deserves a chance.
An opportunity.
And an equal playing field.
Everyone deserves a chance.
An opportunity.
And an equal playing field. To reach their full potential.
This is about courage.
This is about determination. This is about the opportunity to be the best you can be.
No matter what.
It doesn't matter where you are from, the color of your skin,
Or what gender you identify with.
You are entitled to a fair break.
Okay.
Like.
Welcome to day one of the Gencor CHK One-Day Premier League. And we're kicking things off here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. The news from the middle is HKCC have won the toss and they've decided to bowl first. So it's going to be Pakistan Association batting first here in the One-Day Premier League. And a quick recap, of course, of what's happened previously in this season in the T20 Premier League. Pakistan, of course, Pakistan Association, I beg your pardon, were undefeated in the group stages of the T20 Premier League. Unfortunately for them, they succumbed in the final to the Kowloon Cricket Club. Yes, like I said, Pakistan Association lost the toss. They will be batting first. You might hear a little bit of audio disturbance in the background. We're just setting up a tent for ourselves here in the commentary box. But yes, just to walk you through some of these playing 11s for HKCC. It's Adil Mahmood, Adit Gorawara, Charlie Wallace, Finn Ridley, Kinshit Shah, skipper today, Luke Jones, Martin Kutsia, a hard-hitting Martin Kutsia. I'm sure we're going to see him opening the batting. Mehran Zaib, Ninad Shah, Ron Kapoor, and Fian Fonsail. And for Pakistan Association, we've got Alian Muhammad, Ehsan Nawaz, Hafiz Khan, Hamid Khan, Hassan Khan, Sunny Singh, Raweed Ehtisham, Nasrullah Rana, Tanveer Afzal, Yasim Murtaza, and Zishan Ali. Look at that, we've started 2 minutes early. In fact, here at HKCC, first ball looks like Finn Ridley opening things up for the home side. It's Hamid Khan on strike. At the non-strikers end, we've got Raweed Ehtisham. Left alone, good channels there from Finn Ridley. He's got 2 slips in position as well. That one just coming on with the angle. We've got Adit Gorawara behind the sticks. Of course, it's so nice to see cricket back in Hong Kong. We had a great end to the domestic season last year, both for the men and for the women. And I'm sure in 2023 we will be looking forward to hosting more international cricket. First runs on the board here for Pakistan Association. And it's a boundary in front of square on the offside. Well done, Hamid Khan. 4 for no loss. 4 deliveries left in this, the first over. And of course, the Gencor CHK One-Day Premier League is a 50-over competition. We've got the 5 club teams here in Hong Kong playing a single round-robin format, followed, of course, by the final. That's down the leg side. Oh, that's very poor. Yeah, it's going to be 5 wides. Bonus runs here for Pakistan Association. 9 for no loss. Finn Ridley. You got to bowl straighter than that. It can happen sometimes. First game of the season, of course, for both of these teams, the curtain raiser of the Gencor CHK One Day Premier League. Tell you what, HKCC, they didn't have the best T20 competition. Lost all 4 of their group games, finishing bottom of the table. That's much better, right on the money. Finn Ridley didn't have the best statistics in the T20 Premier League, conceding in excess of 8 runs and over. Like I said, conceding in excess of 8 runs and over. But those statistics don't do him justice. He was very impressive for large periods of that T20 Premier League. We wait for the signal from the umpire, just off the pad it seems. Yeah, there you go. Shiroy Vacha, standing umpire, one of 2 umpires today. We got Venkat Ramasamy Venkatesh as well, that square leg in this, the first over. Last ball of the over. Seen a beautiful boundary from Hamid Khan, didn't overhit the ball. Raced through that cover region for 4.
Can we do that?
Tell you what though,
Wait 2 minutes.
those 5 wides, not quite good enough there from Finn Ridley.
Come.
Got a bit of a delay here, like I said, we're just setting up a tent here for those of us in the commentary box. That's okay, we got a bit of an early start here at HKCC. The start time was scheduled for 9:30. We got underway at 9:28. Fantastic. You gotta love that punctuality. Yes, while we do have this break in play, if you want to help spread word about cricket in Hong Kong and associate cricket, share the link of this live stream with your friends and family. Here we go, last ball of the first over. Yeah, much better. A dot ball to close things out. It's 10 for no loss after 1. And opening the bowling from the other end, it's going to be Adil Mahmood. Interestingly, Kinchit Shah choosing to persist with 2 slips. So we got 2 slips and a gully. Got a backward point, a man at cover, and a man at mid-off. 6-3 offside field. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out exactly where Adil Mahmood needs to be bowling. Got mid-wicket, mid-on, and a deep fine leg. Those are the 3 fielders on the leg side. Here we go, Adil Mahmood. That's punched away. Backward point, cleans up. So just a single. So we're away there at the Sham, yet to get off the mark, but he's only faced the solitary delivery so far. Mahmood at the Sham. Yeah, good length. Adil Mahmood, he's known for his accuracy. Reminds me a lot of KCC's Atiq Iqbal. Doesn't do anything fancy, Adil Mahmood. Just keeps it straight. He's got a bit of height as well, Adil Mahmood. Not as tall as Finn Ridley, of course. Both Atiq Iqbal and Adil Mahmood, like I said, not the quickest operators around. But in 50 over cricket especially, they can be more than effective with the new ball. Yeah, there you go again. But of course, with a 6-3 offside field, you don't want to bowl on the pads. It's okay if you bowl kind of straight on that middle and off line. But get any straighter than that and you take a huge risk. Wide open spaces there in the leg side. Got a short leg side boundary as well. The last thing you want to do is bowl short and down leg side. Yeah, there you go. Good length, good line. That corridor of uncertainty, as they call it. Good stuff from Ehtasham as well. A change in format, of course. Most of the cricket we do play nowadays in the modern ages is that T20 format. Two balls left. Much better over this for HKCC. Yeah, there you go, on the legs. Adil Mahmood, he's not happy with that. Heard a bit of a grunt from him as well. I don't think Robaid Ehtasham will be too happy. It's on the legs. A big gap there between deep fine leg and mid-wicket. Nonetheless, he's off the mark. They're going at just over a run a ball here. Pakistan Association. Very early days here at HKCC. Pitched up. Defended straight into the cover region. It's 12 for no loss. Finn Ridley into his second over. He's already conceded a boundary to go along with 5 wides down the leg side. Mid on and mid off, both up in the circle. Look at that, Robaid Ehtasham, a couple of paces down the track. Tell you what, given the dimensions here at HKCC, Pakistan Association will be eyeing a score in the region of 300 or more. Bit of a cloudy day here in Hong Kong. But the forecast is decent. Not a lot of rain forecasted. Pitched up. Bang. Well fielded. Skipper Kinchit Shah makes no mistake there. Away there at the Sham. You can see he's just itching to get his first boundary away. Like I said, it's the 50 over format. You have more time to work your way into the innings. That's the thing about this format. If you end up in a situation where you're 5 off 20 balls, you can always come back from that. Driven. This time, they will cross through for a single. Ooh, a direct hit! Captain Fantastic, Kinchit Shah. Yeah, concedes an overthrow for all his troubles. Tell you what, you get the feeling that something's got to give here. Robaid Ehtasham. He's attacked most of the deliveries he's faced so far. He's looking to be aggressive. Can he find his first boundary? Once again, mishits that. Straight to mid-wicket. Oh, a run-out chance. A direct hit would have seen the end of Hamid Khan. He looks back at his partner. He's not too pleased with that. You see two batters just having a mid-pitch conference. Like I said, Rohit at the Sham, there's so much time left in this contest. 50 overs. Ooh, look at that once again. Hint of movement into the right-hander. And that's when he's been most threatening, Finn Ridley. That's where he bowled his first delivery as well. It's the same 6-3 offside field that Gincor has employed throughout this innings. Just one ball left in this over. Much, much better one here for Finn Ridley. Once again, mistimed. A dot ball as Gincor mops up at mid-off. 15 for no loss. They're going exactly 5 runs and over. It's getting a bit nippy here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. Yeah, this is much better from HKCC. Very untidy first over. They've dragged things back since then. Like I said, 2 slips in that slip Gordon. We haven't seen any of them come into play so far. Both these bowlers are the able to bring the ball back in to both of these right-handers. Pitched up, watchfully played from Hamid Khan. And a correction, it was actually 14 for no loss right now. Like I said, plenty of time left in this contest. Same with Pakistan Association. Even if you get to that 10 over mark and you're 40-45 for no loss, that's a very good result. Oh, left alone. Tell you what, I'm a purist. I love to see that. It's a good lead from Hamid Khan. Now, but it's signs that he knows exactly where his off stump is. And that is a quality you'd like to see in the longer formats. Yes, very cold, very nippy here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. Bent his back a bit there, Adil Mahmood. The result is the same, yet another dot ball. And if this last ball of the over is also a dot, we're going to see our first maiden over of the day. HKCC, of course, the home side. Just a few spectators in right now in the stands, but I'm sure that towards lunchtime this ground is going to fill up. Yeah, good bounce in this pitch, left alone yet again. In fact, it looks like we have one more delivery left in this over. Here we go, last ball. Oh, a bit uppish there. Yeah, Ninad Shah runs around from backward point. Oh, that's a big appeal. Just home, just in time, Hamid Khan. 2 runs to close out the 4th over. 16 for no loss. Oh, beats him. Finn Ridley. And there you go. Oohs and ahs. I think it's the first time we've seen the ball go past the outside edge of the bat. Rohit Esham. It's been a very shaky innings from him so far. You can hear Kinchit Shah, Neenad Shah as well, getting very vocal right now. With the exception of that first over, HKCC have been very, very tidy so far. Look at that, drags his length back. Similar result, play and a miss. How long before Rohit Esham edges one through to the keeper or the slip cordon? I wonder, Finn Ridley, is he just setting up the batsman here? It might be wise to bring back one in sharply to the right-hander. That's what I love about these longer formats as well. As a bowler, you have time to set up a batsman. Pitched up, good bit of fielding. Run out chance. Oh, look at that. Looked like it just got stuck in the hands of the fielder there at mid-on. I think that might be Mehran Zaib there at mid-on. Just off your screen, in fact, Kinchit Shah giving him a bit of a coaching class in how to throw the ball. Tell you what, not the first close call here for Pakistan Association. A lot of chances being created here by HKCC. Still looking for that first wicket. There's this air of expectation here at HKCC. You just get the feeling that something's going to happen here for the home side. Ahmed Khan started with an elegant boundary through the covers. Since then, he's struggled a bit. Oh, no movement of the feet. Another play and a miss. Third play and miss of the over. In fact, signaled no ball by umpire Shiroy Vacha. Yeah, it's not good enough. Finn Ridley overstepping. And that helicopter signal, it's going to be a free hit. Ahmed Khan. Can he break the shackles mid-on and mid-off, both up in the circle? A reminder, of course, you cannot change the field. There's a short straight boundary, a short-ish leg side boundary. Mid-wicket, mid-on, both up in the circle. Mid-off, up in the circle. Here we go, free hit. Bang, he goes leg side, in front of square, in fact. A boundary, second boundary, in fact, for Ahmed Khan. Moves into double figures, 11 off 16. That score now, 22 for no loss with one ball left in this, the fifth over. And we called it as well. A chance for him to break the shackles. A bit of respite here for Pakistan Association. HKCC, of course, winless in that men's T20 Premier League. Also sponsored by Gencor. Big thank you to our sponsors Gencor, without whom it would not be possible to pull off this tournament. Nonetheless, it's 22 for no loss after 5. I'm your commentator for the day, Jay Dancing Hani. If you like what you've heard, you can always follow me on Twitter at Jay Dancing Hani. And for those of you tuning in to a Cricket Hong Kong stream, I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard my voice. I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard this. We've got 2 games on at the same time. The second game between KCC and USRC kicks off in around 10 minutes from now. Yes, we do this so often here in Hong Kong. 2 games at the same time. How often do you see that in associate cricket? Fantastic work from Cricket Hong Kong. Multi-camera stream, a professional commentator, and a more than professional production crew as well. It's too wide, slapped away, brilliant hands through the ball from away there at the Sham. His first boundary moves on to 8 of 16. That was simply too short there from Adil Mahmood. Too short, too much width, and he paid the price. So a bit loose here from HKCC. The very first over, 5 wides down the leg side. A no ball from Finn Ridley as well, moments ago. Ooh, bit of nasty bounce on that one. Looked like Rowaid Ehtisham just planted his front foot forward. Should have been playing back to that one. It can happen sometimes, that in-between length, you're not sure. Should I go forward? Should I stay back? You see on that replay as well, but a nasty bounce there. Big appeal. Yeah, I think a bit of an inside edge on that one. It's been a very eventful start so far. 2 balls left in the 6th over. And we were talking, of course, of reaching that 40-45 run mark at the end of 10 overs. If PACC can do that without losing a wicket, they're going to be front runners in this contest. Yeah, it's much better from Mahmood. Like I said, share the link of this live stream with your friends and family. We're live, of course, on the Cricket Hong Kong Facebook page, and we're also live on YouTube, on the CricFit YouTube channel. It's very easy to share this link. All you have to do, if you're on YouTube, is press that share button. You see a range of icons. In fact, I'm going to press that WhatsApp icon and share it in the family group chat. An optimistic appeal, probably sliding down leg. End of an eventful over. 4 runs off it. It's 26 for no loss after 6. Ooh, once again, inside edge onto the pads. And it sneaks away to that square leg region. They come back for 2, in fact. That's good stuff from Hamid Khan. That's the thing about Finn Ridley. He's been threatening throughout his spell, especially when he's brought the ball, I beg your pardon, back into the right-handers. And now that I say that, he's also beaten the outside edge twice. The issue for Finn Ridley has been consistency, or lack thereof. Of course, we're going to see a lot of international cricket for the Hong Kong men's team in 2023. Hopefully, we will be hosting international cricket in Hong Kong as well. And Finn Ridley, if he can put up a good performance here at the Gencor CHK Men's One-Day Premier League, he could maybe force his way into national contention. Finn Ridley, of course, was part of the epic Group All-Stars series. Ooh, look at that. That bounce from one of Hong Kong's tallest bowlers. I say one of, well, I'll tell you what, I think Finn Ridley is the single tallest cricketer in Hong Kong. I am incredible.
Good morning and welcome to Kowloon Cricket Club for the opening weekend of the Gencor Hong Kong Premier League one-day series for 2022-23. My name is Aaron Bush and we're in for a thrilling start to the 50-over format. Today, Kowloon Cricket Club are taking on United Services Recreation Club. Cricket tournaments were tough throughout the pandemic, so the last one-day tournament was played way back in 2021, with Kowloon the eventual victors over arch rivals Hong Kong Cricket Club in the final. KCC are also coming off a big Premier League T20 campaign, winning the 2022-23 final with ease back in October of last year. The weather forecast for today looks not too bad. The observatory says a few rain patches throughout the day, but mostly fine with cloud. Currently it's 19 degrees in the middle. As for the toss, KCC have won and elected to bat. Today's coverage is coming out live on YouTube and Facebook. If you're tuning in, jump into the comments and say g'day. While the game here gets underway from 10 a.m, the first game of the 2022-23 Gencor Premier League one-day tournament is already underway up in Tai Tam at Hong Kong Cricket Club, with Pakistan Association Cricket Club taking on HKCC. PACC are batting first and the score is currently 28 for the loss of no wickets after 7 overs. I'll give you updates on the other game throughout the day. Now joining me in commentary today from KCC is KCC stalwart Chico. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you, Aaron. It's going to be hard to follow that voice. I will try my best.
You'll be here with the expert comments. We're not far away now. Who's out in the middle for the umpires?
We've got Tabarak Dar on one end and John Prakash on the other. Experienced umpires in the Hong Kong circuit. They've been doing this for a long time and probably two of the best going around.
Now, speaking of the best going around, KCC Baba Hayat, he is missing from the squad today. What's going on there?
He's currently away in Pakistan, but this is always a great opportunity for the young guns at KCC, and I think in place of Baba Hayat at number 3, who's been a stalwart all year round for the club, we have Parth Bhagwat, who's an up-and-coming rising star, plays for the under-19 team, and I'm actually quite looking forward to this, and I hope he takes this opportunity.
All right, USRC are coming out to field and the batters are heading out to the middle. Very, very close to starting this year's Gencor Hong Kong Premier League one-day tournament. Now for KCC, is that Mo Khan at the non-strikers end, and who's opening?
Atco. Probably one of the longest serving members of this club in this team, and opening up for USRC, a former KCC player, Ali.
Well,
should be spicy this.
This will be an interesting first over. It's pretty cloudy. We're expecting a bit of ball movement to start with in the white ball format. After I've got to get my mind into the 50 over format. I've been doing T20s for so long. I'm like, how many are in the inside circle, how many are out? But of course, completely different rules for 50 overs, and also different batting and attack style, because you need to grind it out.
Absolutely, completely different. This is what I love about the sport. Every format brings there's so many different strategies and approaches. Pinnacle of which, of course, being Test cricket. We've got a few delightful Test matches going on around the world right now, including one in Australia,
where Rain has won.
Yeah,
they're still playing.
But it has also made this quite an exciting finish to the Test match. And here we go. Ali steaming in for the first ball of the day.
Short, outside off, left.
Good all-round start there. I think it looked good coming out of his arms. Adko had a good side of it. So all around, everyone should be quite pleased with that. How have you enjoyed commentating and watching Hong Kong cricket?
It's been an absolute blast. Every time I'm in town, I have to come down and have a chat. The T20 Premier League was so much fun, and now we're on to the longer format. A long day, 8 hours.
Yep.
I've bought the throat lozenges. Second ball. Coming down leg, called wide.
It's got some good clicks on that though.
Yeah, it was very pacey. That gets KCC on the scoreboard. First run.
Good day to all the viewers.
I just went on to the thing. I just need to know the login. I was going to search it. I'm going to hear that.
Sorry Probably some changes in the field.
Only 2 back outs on the fence, and that's behind square.
Both behind square. They're only allowed 2 in the power play. That's another wide.
Losing his shape a little. First one down the leg.
It's one of the things we saw in him whilst he was at the KCC as well. He'd come here when he was a junior. Got great pace. When he gets it right, it is unplayable, but more often than not, the control was a bit... went begging. Have you spent your holidays?
I went back to Australia for a double summer. That's a better
That
line
was good.
and
Good
very
line,
quick.
Good length.
Yes, I needed more sunshine. I can't do a winter, so 3 weeks in the sunshine and the heat and the dry.
So you went from sunny Hong Kong to sunny Australia.
Exactly. Well, when I left, it was a bit cold. It was early December, but by the time I come back, it's very pleasant.
Oh, the last week or so has been amazing.
Yeah. Good cricket weather.
Great weather for cricket. I've been playing Saturday cricket for a while at the club now, and we had a few games early on in the year, and halfway through the game it was a drag. It started taking its toll. That stayed a bit low.
Also a wide.
Another wide.
It's 3 wides in the over so far.
2 legitimate deliveries, I believe. Yep.
And the 2 have been very good. It's just a little wide outside off, and then occasionally straying down the leg.
Last season, this corresponding fixture last season was abandoned due to bad weather, so we didn't really get a game between them. The KCC are the reigning champions of the 50 over Gencor Premier League.
Well, I do have some useless trip ahead trivia for that,
let's
actually,
do this.
After this delivery. That's hit well.
Nice off the middle there. That looks like it's
going all the way.
Great shot. Great way to get off the mark.
Atkinson gets off the mark with a 4. That moves KCC to 7.
Delightful drive that from Atco. Dissected the field at mid-off and cover beautifully.
Well, everybody in the circle in front of square. There wasn't a lot of easy ways to stop that one. It came straight off the middle. Well played. So yes, the last 50 over tournament, which was the first game was played by these 2 teams, was right in the middle of 2 typhoons.
Oh, is that why?
It was. Typhoon Lion Rock was the...
Here, as you say, a long day of cricket ahead, so should have, had a good start with PACC so far. Hopefully, from my perspective, HKCC can, hope to break this opening partnership early on in this morning session. We've got a bit of cloud condition, quite cold, all wrapped up here over in the commentary box. But it looks like a decent day for a game of cricket, doesn't it?
That's full. Ooh, I have a feeling he missed out there, Hamid Khan. Yeah, you can see that as well. Shadow batting. His weight should have been on the front foot there. It's a decent start though for Hamid Khan. A boundary through the covers in the very first over. And he cashed in on a free hit as well. Authoritative pull shot in front of square. Yeah, it was much better from Rag Kapoor. But Max, what can you tell us about Rag Kapoor?
Yeah, so I think in the last couple of months, I don't think he's actually, and not in the 2020 side, in the 2020 Premier League competition. I'm not sure he was in this so much. I actually haven't seen him play this much this season. Actually, a couple of fresh faces in the HKCC side today. If you look back at the kind of, he had the two-day game against KCC back in December. A couple of these 50 over games, the side has changed quite a bit. My sense is this is actually a pretty strong side. I think a couple of people have just come back from kind of extended periods away. You've got Kinshit and a couple of the Shahs, back from extended stays away from Hong Kong, especially after a bit of Hong Kong international duty, kind of mid last year towards the end of last year. So I think actually if we look at the side today, they've got a pretty strong side out. I think the bowling hasn't been so much of an issue over the last couple of games, but we'll see how the batting today, what we can chase up on is probably the focal point of today. So I think we'll see Kapoor run and hit some decent lines, some decent lengths today. I think down the other end, Adil will still cause some issues here in the next couple of overs, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, just going off that point, Adil Mahmood has probably been the pick of the bowlers so far today. And he does that so often.
Yeah, correct.
He's not the quickest bowler.
Yeah, he's tended to get in really difficult areas for batsmen this season. He's still putting it up at a decent pace, but I think sometimes he can just drop it that short of a length that kind of, given his height, it pops up. It's just a
That's a good shot, a little bit too straight there. It looks like it's going to be Hamid Khan's third boundary of the day. Rag Kapoor, a bit of a shaky start for him. Hamid Khan settling in nicely, the end of the 9th over. It's 40 for no loss.
Yeah, that was just a little straight, a little full. It's just a kind of delicate scoop shot over kind of mid-wicket, I guess, wasn't it? Out one bounce four, with ease. I think that's actually been all of his boundaries today. Have not looked forced, have they? It's just waiting, picking off bad ball. So that's going to be one to avoid for HKCC. Any of those bad balls to him today.
Like we said earlier in the broadcast, there's the bigger context, I beg your pardon, of the national setup. Hopefully, Hong Kong will be hosting a fair amount of international cricket this year. And with that comes the possibility of being picked for the national side. Ooh, look at that. Once again, Adil Mahmood. Sharp bit of movement into Rowaida at the Sham. And we're only around 40 minutes into the one-day season here in Hong Kong, but it's been a very eventful 40 minutes. A really good contest between bat and ball so far.
Correct me if I'm wrong, so a couple of the PACC bowling attack, were they representing in the Hong Kong national side for a few of the games last year, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely, especially Yasim Murtaza. Had a fantastic Asian Cup with Yasim Murtaza with bat and with ball. The top wicket taker as well in the T20 Premier League. Look at that, first wicket, Adil Mahmood. Nice and straight. And he disturbs the leg stump of Rowaida at the Sham. This was always on the cards, Max.
Yeah, that's one of the, it's a bad shot, quite simply. It's nice and straight from Adil. No particular pace on it, but nice line, nice length, and it was almost a similar shot, to the boundary at the end of the last over. I think he was that bit straighter, looking to just kind of clip it and drop it over, kind of in between, mid on and mid wicket. There's no fielder out there, but that's just clips the top of leg stump, I think. Great breakthrough for HKCC inside 10 overs.
Gets a breakthrough they desperately needed as well.
Yeah, they've been thwarted a couple of times this season through big partnerships, and so just taking those, keeping the partnerships down is going to be key today in terms of reducing a big score. So tell us a bit about the batsmen coming in now.
I mean, I'll be honest, my eyesight isn't the best, but if my guesswork is any good, I think it's going to be Yasim Murtaza walking to the crease.
We'll have to figure out after his first shot.
It looks like it might actually be Ehsan Nawaz coming in at number 3. That's a huge promotion for Ehsan Nawaz if that's actually the case. But there you go, like I said, my eyesight isn't the best. It's Zishan Ali.
Hey.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I don't think there was any need for any surprise promotions today. 40 for 1 off 9 is a fine start. I don't think there's any need for crisis promotions at this point of the stage of the game.
I tell you what, Zishan Ali's in good form as well.
Okay.
Top scorer in that T20 Premier League. I think he was up there.
Very good.
Yeah. It's an interesting T20 Premier League. There wasn't a single batsman on any team who stood up and said,
Yes.
hey, you know what? This is my tournament.
Yes. I came down and watched, actually, I think one of the PACC, HKCC games. I think a couple of the batsmen there had decent knocks, but from the HKCC side, there was no one that managed to just kind of get that rhythm over. It's quite a short period, wasn't it? Kind of 6-7 weeks, maybe 2 months of games, and no one seemed to get that rhythm of just regularly hitting runs. And as you say, that seemed to be the kind of similar across the whole of the league.
Pulls out of his action. Yeah, just going off that point, I think there was only one person in HKCC, Martin Kutsia, who was in the top 10 run scorers in the tournament. That becomes a huge problem. Neon, of course, got a 70 on in one of the games, but other than that, there wasn't much to write home about HKCC.
No, Martin had a lot of great starts in the Premier League 2020 Cup earlier the end of last year. But once he fell, the kind of middle order seemed to fall away a bit during that kind of period. I think there's definitely an opportunity now the 50-50 kind of Premier League season starts for a couple of batsmen to really accumulate some big runs. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. I can't wait to see Kinshit Shah bat. Those back-to-back centuries in the Challenge League a couple of years ago. I said this back in the year 2020, just before the pandemic. In the year before the pandemic, Kinshit Shah, in my opinion, was the single most improved cricketer in associate cricket. There was a time, of course, where he actually averaged in single figures for the national team. Feels like ages ago. He's very consistent now, Kinshit Shah. Cut away, I think he missed out on that one. Either side of backward point, it would have been another boundary. Nonetheless, 10 overs gone, it's 40 for 1.
Yeah, I think Kinshit will be really excited to be back in the side. He's away for a long time. I think he'll be excited to be back in Hong Kong, back in the side, back looking to score runs. As you say, ahead of potentially a big season for the national side as well. So he'll definitely be looking to, excited to get back into the middle of the crease.
Yeah, it looks like Rag Kapoor's cap has flown off his head, all the way down to us here in the comm box, in fact. Big fan of that HKCC cap. It reminds me a lot of the PNG.
Yeah, it is a bit. What's the PNG? It's kind of black, yellow, orange kind of colours. I think similar to that sort of thing, isn't it?
I love watching PNG play. Tony Ura, oh my God, never a dull moment when he's at the crease.
Yeah, it's good to see them. I think international cricket's been good over the last couple of years in extending the various tournaments to wider nations, and it's great just because you get these little pockets of incredible players that we usually wouldn't see. Especially this year. Some players in Namibia, Afghanistan have been a high level for a long time, but a couple of their players are great to watch. PNG great to watch. So I think the kind of new format is really good and a great, example of cricket globally.
Oh, it's a good shot. Splits that gap between mid-off and that man at cover. Kinshit Shah didn't even bother moving.
That's what he was just trying to do a couple of overs ago, wasn't it? I think that one he just committed that bit more, planted that front foot a bit stronger, leant on it a bit more. Managed to just get the full knee to the bat behind the ball.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this innings so far from Hamid Khan. Still early days. With 23 off 31 with the assistance of 4 boundaries. Oh, look at that. Hint of movement back into Hamid Khan. Not for the first time, beaten on the inside edge.
Yeah, I think that was just shorter of a length, that one, than the previous ball. A bit shorter, maybe a bit of movement, maybe a bit tighter to the stumps.
He's got a big role to play here. Hamid Khan this time beaten on the outside edge. Max, that's what I love about the 50 over format as well. It gives a bowler an opportunity to set up the batsman.
Well, I think that's right. I think it's 2020 nowadays. Every ball is so important. I'm not saying every ball in 50-50 isn't important, but there's a difference. You have 2 or 3 balls to set up a wicket-taking ball, instead of in 2020 where really, the vast majority of your balls, 90% are, potentially wicket-taking balls, unless you're bowling at the death where, you're solely focused on dots, or in the power play you're trying to reduce those early runs or whatever it is. But 50-50, you really do actually have a couple of balls, if not a couple of overs, to really get into a batsman, see what he's playing, what he's doing. With this one, putting it inside, putting it outside. You can just be that bit more patient, and you do see a slightly different style of bowling and batting, which is great.
Last ball of the 11th. Watchfully played, loud call of no. And the right call as well.
And you just see there what the previous kind of 2 or 3 balls have done. He's been hit for 4 off the second ball, managed to kind of bring it back a length, put it inside of the bat on the third, outside of the bat on the fourth. And then that last ball, 2 overs ago, that's exactly the same ball that he scooped over, deep mid-wicket for 4. But that, just because that slightly nervy couple of balls, that's forced him to now defend again. So it's a good battle.
Max, I gotta say, it's my first time commentating with you. I love your analytical mind. But no, you're completely right. So much batting comes down to anticipation as well, where you think the ball is going to end up. And you're right, it was a very similar delivery that he whipped away just 2 overs ago.
Yeah, full kind of straightish onto leg stump. Usually that is a nice clip off the pads, or a slightly more expansive shot over deep mid wicket. But he's got time, and patience is it's good.
Say I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen a maximum so far today. That could change, of course, with Zishan Ali at the crease. In fact, I can see him just eyeing up that leg side region right now.
Well, it can always change with the first spin of the day coming on as well.
Yeah, it looks like Luke Jones, the leg spinner,
is coming on. Yeah.
Tossed up, you love to see it. There's cover out there in the deep, so it's only going to be a single. And Zishan Ali is off the mark.
Yeah, Luke's bowled well this season, actually. It's early to bring him on, 11 overs bowled. But I think, with one batsman set, 25 off 35, one batsman relatively new, still 0 off 5. Luke's bowled quite tight lines for a leg spinner over this season, so it's an interesting time to bring him on. Good bit of variation.
And actually just now getting a bit of purchase off this deck as well. It's a big question in one-day cricket when the spinners come on. How much assistance are they going to get from the surface?
Yeah, often this, I haven't been out to see this single strip, but often up here, you do get a lot of assistance for seam up, pace, bit of nibble. You don't want to bowl short here for sure, but you do get a bit of assistance pitching it up, bit of nibble outside off stump. But often for the spinners it can be a bit harder. But it does look like, if you're tossing it up here, giving a bit of time to actually move, you're actually going to get some movement here. He started off nicely.
Yeah, that one. Not the best reader of leg spin, but that one coming on with the with the arm.
I think also in terms of overrate in this period of the game, getting a spinner on can, suddenly.
Oh, that's taken. There you go. Spin works straight away, and it's the massive wicket of Zishan Ali, slapped straight to that cover fielder, and now suddenly HKCC they're on top. Pakistan Association, 46 for 2.
You know what? It's a good catch that has come hard and fast. I actually wondered whether, I kind of thought that fielder was slightly in no man's land. He wasn't close, he wasn't deep, but actually it's come right to him at a great height, hasn't it? Just caught straight in the middle of him, 2 hands. And I think Luke's done really well that over. I think he's given the ball the chance to fly up, just bounce, and as you say, spinning a bit. Maybe it's not doing too much, but not at the best angle to be able to read it either. But there he's just managed to draw in that kind of expansive drive, hasn't he?
He's changed up his changed up his trajectory really well in that over as well.
Correct, yeah.
But a big last 5 or 10 minutes. 10 minutes ago, saying PACC on top, 40 for no loss in the 10th over. That 40 for no loss has turned into 46 for 2. We're going to get confirmation on who the new man at the crease is.
As I was just pointing out a minute ago, I mean, now it's you've got another new batsman. You've got another new batsman to the crease. You've got an opportunity here, 12 overs bowled, to really actually bring some, pick the over rate up with Luke. Bowls quick, 6 quick balls. It could be 20 overs before you know it, and that starts to accumulate and pile on some pressure on the batsman, that sort of thing. So, it's an interesting time to bring on the spinner in that respect as well.
It's a good time for him to bowl, I completely agree. Especially now that he's taken a wicket in his very first over. But a tough proposition now for Pakistan Association, Hamid Khan. He's batting well, but he's lost 2 partners. Tanveer Afzal, who I get the feeling is more suited to the T20 format, walking in at number 4. Oh, look at that. Bit of awkward bounce there. Rag Kapoor. Bit of an untidy start in his first over, but he's making a good comeback. Still some batting to come, of course, for Pakistan Association. Sunny Singh, who often opens in the T20 format. He's in that dugout, as is Hafiz Khan. And how could I forget Yasim Murtaza? I have to say, I'm very surprised that Yasim Murtaza has not walked in at number 4. You go cut away straight to backward point. Max, are you surprised to see Tanveer walk in at number 4?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what if anything is wrong with Murtaza, why he's not in, or why he doesn't want to come in at this stage. I mean, you'd think 47 for 2 off 12 would be an ideal time to come in. But there's always a reason for sending in a batsman. They know it better than I do, so I won't comment too much on it. But maybe as you say, 2020 style batsman at this stage. If they're looking counter-aggression, counter-punching.
It's edged down to third man.
That's exactly right. If he's not afraid to play some shots, obviously it could go wrong, but if he puts a quick 30 on the board, then it just changes the momentum of the game, doesn't it? Kind of brings them back onto a steady path.
I tell you what, he's one of the best ball strikers in Hong Kong still, Tanveer Afzal. High elbow, just about clearing that man at mid-off, Ninad Shah. Oh, he's unable to cut that off, so a bit of a streaky boundary there from Hamid Khan. And 50 up now for Pakistan Association. They're 52 for 2 with 1 ball left in the 13th.
Yeah, an interesting shot that. Full-ish, straight, maybe just short of a length, straight, quite slow. Just seemed to not commit to the shot, but straight bat, straight over the bowler's head. Relatively short boundary up behind the bowler here as well, so it's not the highest risk shot. But you've got to commit to it. Because I think as Martin there underneath the ball, he was in the game, wasn't he? He was about an arm's length away.
$52 for 2 after 13. If you want to help us spread the word about cricket in Hong Kong and spread the word about associate cricket, share the link of this live stream with your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever your favorite social media application is. You can watch this stream, of course, on the CricFit YouTube channel or the Cricket Hong Kong Facebook page. Luke Jones, wicket in his first over. Can he make it 2? Tossed up. It's a good contest. I tell you what, the rationale for sending in Tanveer Afzal could be the fact that he loves to whack spin. Same, of course, with Zishan Ali. Oh, there you go, playing a miss. Oohs and ahs in the background.
Yeah, as you say, if you're a clean ball striker coming in at this stage of the game, if you manage to, bludgeon the spinner off for a couple of overs, that makes HKCC reevaluate their strategy in the next 15-20 overs of this game. So it's a massive fight, this, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. Got viewers in India tuning in on fan code, of course. So you have friends in India, let them know that popular application fan code is where you can watch this game. Of course, we've got 2 games on at the same time. KCC and USRC down in Kowloon right now. I'll try and get an update for you later. That's a great thing about this CHK production team. 2 games in 1 day. How often do you see that from an associate cricket board? Very professional setup, a multi-camera stream, of course. And we've got a professional commentator to go along with it. Tossed up. Yeah, I can see Tanveer Afzal just getting a hint, just getting a bit frustrated. Looks like a maiden over there. I think that's the 3rd or 4th maiden of the innings so far. The score remains 52 for 2.
Yeah, as you say, not many maidens today, and that's exactly what HKCC will want at this point. A couple of maidens in this period of the game, just to kind of frustrate the batsman. Waiting for a bad shot is I think HKCC will be happy to let it kind of run on for a bit here. Stick with Kapoor, stick with Luke Jones. Give them maybe a couple more overs and then see who they're going to bring in next. And you have Charlie Wallace that could come in and bowl some pace. If the batsman's looking, a bit set, maybe rough him up a bit or something like that. There are a couple of options to go to as well. A bit more spin. So there's no shortage of options for either side in the next kind of 15-20 overs, which is going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, speaking of Charlie Wallace, I'm surprised he hasn't come into the attack yet. Every chance he's going to be used as a bit of an enforcer today.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe come on in the next change. I think they're happy to leave spin on at the moment. Kapoor, in the last over or over and a half, we've seen him cause some issues as well. So I think both bowlers seem relatively set at the moment, unless something changes, in terms of a couple of boundaries or something like that. I don't see too much change soon.
Ahmed Khan batting on 30 or 40 deliveries. He's been the quickest scorer so far for PACC and the most solid batter we've seen so far today. 5 boundaries in his innings. He's been very patient. But more often than not, he's put the loose ball away. A bit wide, mistimed, straight to backward point. Eight consecutive dot balls now for Pakistan Association. You can see him. Ahmed Khan just shadow batting. See him just visualizing, finding that gap between cover and backward point.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to rush anything. I think patience will be key here. As you say, he's put away most of the bad balls with ease. 1 or 2 mistimed shots, but he's 30 or 40. That's fine. It's a good strong start for opening bat. I think he can be patient here. He can afford to be patient.
Look at that, just bailed out of the shot there. Ahmed Khan. Tell you what, I haven't seen much of Rag Kapoor before today. In the last couple of overs, he's been very impressive. There you go. Straight. He gets down to the non-striker's end.
Yeah, he seems to have found his line and length a bit, hasn't he? The keeper's now up for the first time in his spell so far. I think it's... yeah, I think with keeper up, I think he'll just continue to... I think they've obviously seen over the last couple of overs there's a bit of movement maybe outside off stump. And if he does find that length, it's not coming on particularly quick. If he does find that length, it is going to be difficult for the batsman. Navigating that kind of that defence attack off outside off stump. I think they're going to... Just looking now, I think they're going to be using that kind of keeper up, keeper back strategy, which does always get in the batsman's head a bit as well. So.
Right on cue, Max. The dot ball to close out the 15th. In fact, we might have one delivery left.
One more,
Yeah, he's been impressive, Rag Kapoor. Spell from him, it's been right out of the Adil Mahmood playbook. Nothing fancy, nice and straight. Bring a few in, take one away. There you go, just straightening on Tanveer Afzal. And the score remains 53 for 2.
Yeah, and again, talking about bowling changes, that's why I don't think HKCC will be rushing over the next kind of over 5 or 10 overs if it stays in a similar kind of pattern as to this. I think they'll be quite happy leaving it as is. So we're going to continue with Luke Jones. Score currently 53 for 2 of 15 overs. Luke coming in for his third over. Managed to just put that one away for a single into deep cover. Yeah, well bowled again from Luke Jones today. He's now put through two and a half overs. He's floating it up nicely. Bowled straight, bit of spin. He's floated that one up, but the batsman's got it away. I think that's Afzal. Managed to push it away to deep cover, just for a single though. Good fielding. Fielder rockets it into Luke Jones's shoulder. Oh, that's a good delivery from Luke Jones. He's managed to just find that bit of flight. Looks like kind of pitched on off stump, span away, bit of turn. Batsman just prods out front foot, just misses the outside edge. Caught by the keeper. Straight back to Luke Jones for another. Yeah, 2 full that one, sadly. First full toss of the spell. Gets duly dispatched over deep square leg. Mind that, not too far from the fielder Charlie Wallace out there, who's at deep mid wicket, just a couple of yards to his left, but takes advantage of it. Away for, I think maybe a 1 bounce 4. And that's short, put away to extra cover. But just a single fielder out there on the deep, and that's over. So 16 overs bowled, 60 for 2. Khan 37 off 46. Afzal 2 off 13. Luke Jones now bowled 3 overs, 1 maiden for 8 runs. Kapoor 4 overs for 20 runs. I think we'll see Kapoor come in for his 5th over now. No need to change up too much for HKCC in this period of the game. It's a funny old shot off Kapoor's first delivery. Was full and straight and big flick leading edge off the fence all the way down to deep square leg. I think for 2 runs. Looked like it was going to the boundary, but stopped on the bowling green out in the far left hand side of the ground here at HKCC. Keeper back up for Kapoor here, as saying previously, kind of chopping and changing where the keeper's standing. A few of these slow balls, a few of these quicker balls. It is nipping a bit outside of off stump, going both ways. So they're utilising this strategy quite well. Kapoor a bit short and wide. Khan's looking to cut that down behind square. Just one bounce kind of edged into gully. Throwing back for Kapoor for another delivery. I think a bit of a slow ball for Kapoor, that one. Puts it in slow, straight, full and straight. Just put away to mid-on for a quick single. I think 2 more balls to come in this over for Kapoor. 63 for 2 of 16.4. Ball for a dot ball. Good leave outside off stump.
Mini typhoon.
Yeah, well bowled, solid defence out for the end of Kapoor's 5th over. Scores PACC 63 for 2 off 17 overs. Khan 40 off 50. Afsal 2 off 15. Dealing with the strong winds up here at HKCC. Commentary box trying to maintain its standards and all of its technology going on up here. Luke Jones to start his 4th over here. Currently 3 overs bowled, 1 made and 8 runs and 1 wicket. And Luke Jones has bowled him.
looking around for support from the commentary box here. I think Lee Jones has bowled him. It was a big flighted delivery, full straight. I think came down a lot, maybe pitched just before the crease. Batsman down for a sweep shot, looking just to glance it down to kind of deep backwards square or square leg or fine leg. I think a few fielders went up for LBW, which was a potential shout as well. But I think the ball's just gone straight through onto maybe hitting leg stump there. So that is the big wicket of Khan out. I think he was 40 off 50 or so. So at PACC, new batsman into the crease, 63 for 3 off 17. That's Luke Jones' second wicket. Now 3.1 overs bowled, 8 for 2. Similar to what Luke Jones has been doing all day today, bowling relatively straight, nice flight, just getting it to bounce just kind of on a good length, spinning it away from these right-handed batsmen so far, and that's another great wicket for him. Important wicket. So I think we're just going to take that opportunity to have some drinks here and a quick break. We will rejoin you soon. PACC 63 for 3 off 17.1 overs.
We're back live. Luke Jones, 2 wickets. Yasim Murtaza on strike. Yeah, we were speaking about that off camera, off mic rather. Max, everybody thought it was an LBW appeal.
Yeah, there was some confusion in the field. I think it may well have been one of those that either LB or bowled was out.
Tell you what, though, really good spell so far from Luke Jones. 2 for 5. He's into his 4th over. No surprise, he has a slip in position.
Yeah, I think the way he's bowled so far today definitely warrants a slip in place. Couple of balls gone past the outside edge to these right-handers. We haven't seen any clean nicks come through yet, but I think it will be interesting to see now against Murtaza, the lefty on strike. See how he adjusts his lines, adjusts his flight, coming back in now to the left-hander.
Yeah, you can see Yasim Murtaza just eyeing up that leg side field. When you're 3 down inside 18 overs, you don't exactly have the license to go for it. Gets off the mark. A single tucked away into the leg side. I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised to see Yasim Murtaza walking in at number 5. Definitely would have had him batting in the top 4 if I was the PACC skipper. Yeah, skipper Tanveer Afzal. He's at the crease, at the non-striker's end, in fact, after that single. I think that's the order of the day here for PACC.
Yeah, I think the key here in the next 10 overs, keep the run rate ticking over. I don't think there have to be any kind of too many expansive shots. I don't think boundaries will push the bowlers too far off their lengths at this stage. Kapoor bowled 5, Jones bowled 4, both bowled tight lines, especially in their last 4 overs each. I think they'll be happy to bowl their normal bowling. I think counter-attacking so aggressively at the moment won't shake off the bowlers too much. So I think rotating the strike and putting over singles, putting over doubles, getting the score up to 100 for 3 is the next stage for PACC, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it's something Yasim Murtaza is actually really good at. He's really good at maintaining a low dot ball percentage. He's a very busy player.
Yeah, you saw that off his first shot. Decent ball by Jones, a bit straight maybe, adjusting to the left-hander, but just a quick single, into the ring, is going to be one that HKCC need to keep an eye on.
Would you be tempted to change up the bowling? Maybe bring in someone like Charlie Wallace or even Kinchit Shah?
Yeah, I think I'd let Luke have a couple more. Into Murtaza as well, just the left-hander. See what that ball coming now back into the left-hander can do. Just got Kapoor running in here.
There you go, a bit straight. In fact, I think he's found the gap. He's found a boundary. Tanveer Afzal, that's good timing on that one.
Yeah, it was a bit short from Kapoor, I think. Batsman just kind of leant back and kind of almost low straight pull or club rather, a bit of a kind of 20-20 shot, as you say, in past towards kind of cow corner, straight along the ground through the fielders. But no, I think I'd leave Jones on for a couple more, but as you say, there are options to come on. I think these batsmen have only faced 18 and 3 deliveries respectively. They're still pretty new to the crease. You could look to introduce some pace like Charlie Wallace to just to make sure their eye is not fully in over the next couple of overs. That could be an interesting shout as well.
A bit of bounce on that one. Did well to keep it down, Tanveer Afzal. It's so important, isn't it? Just dropping the hands, playing with soft hands, so it doesn't carry to slip. I like this captaincy as well from Kinchit.
Yeah, it's why they've still got the slip there, as for those balls. If the ball's just popping off the surface.
Driven. Let's cover out there in the deep. Just a single. Batting on 9 of 21, Tanveer Afzal. Not often you say that about Tanveer. But look, at the end of the day, 50 over cricket, you have a lot of time.
Yeah, it's exactly what they'll want from him, I think, at this stage. I think this is the first time Kapoor and Murtaza are going at each other. So this will be an interesting matchup as well.
Max, you've watched a lot of cricket here. You've played a lot of cricket here. What do you think is a good score for Pakistan Association on this deck?
I think you've got to be north of 200. I think that's for sure.
Oh, that was a beautiful
start.
delivery. Look at that. Angle in, movement away, beats the outside edge. Not a bad delivery. One of Hong Kong's finest batters, Yasim Murtaza. He's probably been Hong Kong's MVP in the last 12 months. Yasim Murtaza. Squared up there from Rag Kapoor.
Yeah, I think that's just why you let these two bowlers have a bit of a go at the left-hander now as well.
A little bit of width. That was uppish. Could have been the 4th wicket.
Yeah, HKCC still maintaining relatively aggressive. Got slip, kind of a slip, kind of gully, and a short backward point, maybe. Wallace has now walked off his mark, but you know, it's still well positioned. I think kind of a short mid-off as well. Still well positioned for, you know, a streaky drive, isn't it? So that'll definitely be. I don't think they'll change that up too much in the next couple of overs. Let's see how that pan out. I don't think they'll mind too much Murtaza, you know, streaking into the offside at this stage of the game.
Is it just me, or is the ball just stopping in the deck a bit?
Seems so, yeah. I think that's maybe why. Oh, we've got Charlie Wallace coming on now. I was just about to say that's maybe why they've held him off so far. You know, Adil was bowling. When Adil was opening up, he was quite full, so that doesn't matter so much. But you know, Finn Ridley coming on usually is slightly back of a length. You know, if that is holding up, it can be a bit easier for the batsman. Charlie usually has quite a low trajectory, so this could actually just maybe see a bit of a better carry on.
Oh, good hands through the ball. He's found the gap as well to the left of backward point. Second boundary in quick succession for Tanveer Afzal. He moves into double figures now. We spoke about this earlier as well. Tanveer Afzal, to this day, still one of the best hitters in Hong Kong, and showing what he's capable of just moments ago with that cut shot. 13 off 22 now. Oh, look at that. A thick inside edge. Oh, it's a good effort from Finn Ridley. Look at that, Finn Ridley. I think he thought that went through to the boundary. Not 4. Is he signaling 4?
Finn, it wasn't a 4.
It wasn't a 4.
It wasn't a 4.
Interesting. Bit of indecision here. I think Finn Ridley thought it went to the boundary, but both Max and I in the comm box say that it wasn't 4.
Yeah, a bit of strategic long grass placed by HKCC there, I think. Deep fine leg.
Yeah, and of course we're so close to the players here on the boundary, so I think Finn Ridley just overheard.
Do we count as 4th umpires, or? Adil knows, deep third man. He knows it wasn't a 4. Look, there he is, running over to have a chat with the commentators.
I tell you what, though, good sportsmanship here from Finn Ridley.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue, did he? He did well to get down and well to get there. But.
Yeah, and it looks like the umpire's going to take the fielder's word for it.
One run.
Is it 1? Is it 4? I think it's going to be 4. Like I said, we're in such close proximity to some of the players here, so there's always a chance that they overhear our conversations.
well, back to the ball itself rather than the runs. Nice, full and straight and quick from Charlie in that last ball.
Oh, there's a big appeal. I think that's come off the pad. Yeah, no appeal, in fact, from Charlie Wallace.
Fantastic catch, or stop, I should say, by the keeper. Good pace and bounce from Charlie there. I think this is why they've brought him on, just to bring that extra injection of pace. As you were saying just before he came on, the ball is stopping a tiny bit in the wicket, so you can get that kind of lower trajectory, a bit more pace in, see if it's going to carry through to the keeper. Could be an interesting few overs.
Driven straight into the cover region, and in fact we're still trying to figure out whether or not that was signaled boundary. Yeah, no, just getting confirmation from the scorers. It was just one run.
Yeah, he did well to get down to it, Finn, really. He's a tall bloke, coming quickly. I don't think he knew where it went, but managed to do the job.
Oh, look at that. That bounce we were talking about, Max. Another play and a miss from Yasim Murtaza.
Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about, is just managing to get that bit of extra pace through past the bat. Has been slowing up a bit today. You can see that the keeper is still a good 20 yards back. Slip is a good 23 yards back. So I think that we'll still see the ball coming through quite quick here. Be a good challenge.
Nice and straight, good end to the over.
It's a good end to the over, yeah. It's a good start from Charlie after the first ball. The first ball, wasn't a bad one. Very nicely cut away, maybe a tiny bit short of a length. A good shot for a good boundary. And let's see if Kapoor stays on for his seventh, or whether they change it up again.
It's so important for Pakistan Association to build a partnership. Still batting to come, Sunny Singh, of course, still in that dugout. Ehsan Nawaz, Hassan Khan Muhammad as well, more than capable with the bat. Personally, I think Hassan Khan, one of the most underrated lower order hitters in Hong Kong. Maybe I'm just a good luck charm for Hassan Khan every single time I watch him bat. Now, he's so good at getting those quick 20s and 30s, Hassan Khan. He's quick with the ball as well.
That would be good today, for sure.
Rag Kapoor to continue. I just wonder if he's getting a bit tired here, Rag Kapoor. Yeah, into his 7th over, unchanged. It's another thing I love about 50 over cricket. Maidens, 7 overs unchanged. You don't get to see
putting
that.
In a spell.
I'll tell you what, if he gets a wicket right now, we could see him bowl all 10.
That's right.
Once again, another play and a miss. It's another thing about 50 over cricket. Seema is more likely to pitch that ball up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Murtaza's going to give him too much respect here, I don't think, which always makes it interesting. That's a good ball.
I think Kinshid Shah wants him to go for that expansive drive as well.
That's right.
There's nobody on the boundary on the offside. We have a bit of I would call it a whitish mid-off in place. So there's that then temptation to drive down the ground, or maybe find that gap as well between the man at cover and the man at mid-off. There you go, he does go down the ground. It's a good bit of fielding as well off his own bowling.
Yeah, I think it looked like a slightly slower ball. As you say, I don't know if that's because he's getting more tired, but he's utilised that well. Slow, full and straight. Done well, punched back along the ground, done well to get down and stop that for no run. 2 more to come for this over.
Nice and straight. I like this. Rag Kapoor. 6.5 overs, none for 29 for the right arm seamer. He's bowled even better than those impressive figures suggest. Caused a lot of problems here for Yasser Murtaza. A bit of a false start there.
Yeah, I think as you say, I think looking back to his first over, maybe where there were 2 boundaries. So if you look at his last 5 or last 6, it's been very impressive, and as you say, has made the batsman think, kind of, in and around outside off stumps. It's definitely kind of slowed the rate down, slowed the paces down, and he's bowled tight. I mean, this is again another great over.
Now you're right, really good over yet again. 78 for 3. Hong Kong Cricket Club, of course, hosting the curtain raiser of the Gencor CHK Men's One-Day Premier League. It's a pleasure bringing you the first game of this tournament. Here we go, Charlie Wallace. Nice and quick. Well fielded as well, Ninad Shah. But like I said, it's getting a bit nippy here at HKCC. Forecast, of course, is for cloudy skies. A bit of rain later, but I think we're just going to get a drizzle.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it looks like maybe rain, maybe 4 o'clock onwards, maybe a tiny bit earlier. Hopefully that manages to stay away from us here.
Oh, it's got high on him. Should be an easy catch, and yes, it's taken. That's the end of Tanveer Afzal. And Charlie Wallace picks up his first wicket in just his second over. Max, it's a big breakthrough.
It's a cracking breakthrough. That's one day bowling at its finest, I think. We were talking earlier about, the difficulties of getting the carry through on the ball, holding up in the wicket a tiny bit. But actually Charlie, over these one and a half overs, has managed to kind of get that bit more carry. And that's a pretty vicious ball up into his, just still straight, not fully into his body, but right up at kind of shoulder length. Should have probably left it. I don't think it was causing him too much issue in and around his head or his shoulders. But he's gone after it, and it was quick. I think it was looked like a quick ball, and big kind of top edge or straight up back to Charlie for a good catch. And I think, as you say, that's exactly what they would have wanted to do with that bowling change. So yeah, it's a big wicket. It's a big wicket.
You got to give credit to skipper Kinchit Shah as well.
Correct.
Luke Jones, well, he was a
bowling
flawless spell, yeah.
Yep. It was a flawless spell. He didn't do many wrong. I think, was it only 4 or 5 overs in the end? Maybe just about double-digit runs, 2 wickets, a couple of maidens. Was bowling nicely to the right and left-hander. But I think this mix-up, bringing Wallace on, is just kind of, into a couple of the middle-order batsmen now that are not yet settled. Will be difficult this period of the game. As you say, bit of cloud cover, bit of wind. If it starts nipping around a bit as well, it's going to be difficult to face.
The man we were speaking of, Hassan Khan Muhammad, walking in at number 6. And I like this. Far too often bats at 8 and 9. I think that's too low for him. There you can see first ball shapes up so nicely.
He's got his eye. It looks like he's got his eye in. I wouldn't have necessarily wanted to face that first up, but full straight, quick. But nice solid forward defence, aggressive forward defence back to mid on.
Well, I feel like that's been one of the main talking points so far today. The batting order here for PACC. We're yet to see Sunny Singh, who often opens in T20 cricket. Yasser Murtaza walking in at number 5. Lets that go. Tell you what, it was a bit similar to that dismissal of Tanveer Afzal, but this one just a little bit wider.
I think a bit shorter, a bit wider. But again, he's got that ball in his locker to keep them honest in the next couple of overs.
It was a nasty delivery to get rid of Tanveer Afzal. Well directed, nice and straight. Like you said, up at that shoulder height, maybe just a bit higher.
Yeah, it's just putting it in that area of thinking that you need to play, which is exactly what the bowler will want to do, and it's exactly what what caused the catch.
It's exactly where you want to be bowling to Tanveer Afzal as well.
Yeah, he seems so confident with every other shot around the pitch. I think that was the first short ball, wasn't it? I don't think he was maybe fully expecting it either.
Oh, that's too straight. Finn Ridley will not cut this off on the pads, and he's punished. The boundary to close out the 22nd over. Successful one. It's 82 for 4.
So it will be Rag Kapoor to carry on in this spell for his 8th over.
Yeah, and I don't mind. He's dragged things back nicely, Rag. Bit of a shaky first 1 or 2 overs. He's been really good.
Yeah, I think the real reason they're keeping him on here is this Murtaza battle, isn't it? I think he's bowled a really nice line to the left-hander over the last 1.5 overs. Maiden last over.
That's up in the air. It's taken by Gully. The move pays off, and now they've lost half their side. 82 for 5, PACC. You gotta say, maybe a hint of frustration there from Yasim Murtaza. I don't know what he was thinking with that shot. But he loses his wicket. You can see him just looking to the heavens. There's a lot of work to do now for PACC. And Max, if you're PACC, how do you find your way out of this hole?
Yeah, you would like to think a bit of counter-attack. But again, at this stage, it's a pretty risky strategy. I think, for me at this point, I would just focus on building a partnership. Only 22 overs gone. It's a 50-50 game. It's a long way to go. 30 overs or 28 overs. That is really enough time to build an innings or 2 innings, build a partnership. If these guys are still here at 35 overs, even if they've only scored 30, 40 runs by 30-35, it's taken them up to 120. If you then have a successful last 15 overs, you are cruising past 200, or there and thereabouts, which is a defendable score. Especially first 50 game of the season, a batting lineup that is fresh with HKCC. Anything could happen at that stage, but you've got to get to some kind of defendable target. A few things do have to go right for PACC now, for sure, but I think if these do manage to hang on for a partnership, just 30-40 runs, just to hang around until the 30th over, you've then got 20 overs to play. With a deep batting lineup that they have today, that's not impossible to do. But I think it's a fantastic idea to keep Rag Kapoor on for his 8th over. I think they just saw glimpses in the first couple of overs with Murtaza facing Kapoor. He was keen to drive on the offside, wasn't he? A bit of front foot drive, back foot drive. Kapoor was just getting that a great little line just outside off stump to hold on, and just saw that kind of thick edge too.
That's uppish. Oh, look at that, just to the right of mid-off. Ninad Shah, not for the first time. The ball just going over his head. It's a very streaky way to get off the mark for Sunny Singh.
A nice strong punch back along the ground, but fielder in play at some point through that stroke, that's for sure.
We spoke about this earlier as well. There's no shortage of boundary hitters in this PACC lineup. But I agree, they need a partnership. Come back to that after this ball.
Yeah, so that's the question, isn't it? It's going to be the temperament of these batsmen. The next, the 2 in now, the next 1 or 2. it doesn't necessarily look like they're keen to hang around and defend their way out of the hole. Maybe they are going to kind of punch and attack and try and attack those bad balls.
Lets that go. Not often we've seen that in the last 45 minutes. I think the issue for PACC Max is they've lost their anchor type players. The likes of Zishan Ali, Yasim Murtaza, and of course Hamid Khan at the top of the order. They're all back in the dugout. And that's the thing, if you want to be consistently successful in 50 over cricket, you need the kind of batters who are batting 80, 90, 100 or more balls in each innings. Driven nicely.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, bit of a misfield, bit of a misunderstanding. Sent back just in time.
Yeah, as to your point, the best one-day sides, have anchors throughout the team sheet, the batting lineup, and the best middle order, late middle order batsmen that can hit runs quickly will often do so with someone that's been hanging around for a while, is keen to run fast, anchor the knock, happy to take singles, doubles, will let the other batsmen come in and play a bit more of an expansive style of cricket. But when you don't have that anchor left, you've got two of those players together, and that's where mistakes happen, and that's where they not often change the way that they can play, and if they do, it's sometimes a mistake, and to not play your natural style of game. We seen that with a number of international sides over the years, especially when I think of the England one-day side, 5, 6, 7 years ago, with attacking players only able to play attacking cricket and not adjust, and losing those anchors in the middle, you start losing 5, 6 wickets for no runs at all. So that's what will be interesting over the next couple of partnerships. Is whether they manage to adapt their own style of game a tiny bit, or whether they just both naturally go their normal way. So I think it should definitely be a couple of interesting overs.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's another thing that makes 50 over cricket. It differentiates it from the shortest format. 27 overs, it's a very long time. It's 162 balls. Yeah, just going off your point, in T20 cricket, if 3 of your players get attractive 30s, that could be more than enough on many days. Bit of a nasty bounce there for Ninan Shah at backward point. Yeah, you can see HKCC, they've got a smile on their face. They can afford to have a chuckle. They're right on top of this contest.
Yeah, I think as you say, when in the 50 over format, a big score requires, a big total requires 1 or 2 people to go big, and that's that is very, very different to the 2020 game, where you can have 5 players hit 30 or a couple hit 40 and you're in the game straight away. You need some people to hang around for a decent period of time. Usually 1 or 2 batsmen getting a 50, getting 100, that sort of thing. And those will be the best sides that continuously manage to do that.
Charlie Wallace 1 for 10 in 2.2 overs. Tell you what, Sunny Singh on strike right now. He's a very good cricketer. I'll get back to that in a minute. Nice and straight, Ninan Shah. He's had a lot of work to do so far today. Yeah, Sunny Singh, of course, in his younger days was he was a pretty quick bowler. He used to bowl 130, 135. Unfortunately suffered an injury a few years ago, and since then he's been predominantly a batter. In fact, I haven't seen him bowl in a very...
Does he bowl at all anymore?
Yeah, I don't think he bowls at all. He's a very good striker of the ball, Sunny Singh. He's not exactly known as a red ball specialist, Sunny Singh. He's got a very good eye. He's got great hand-eye coordination, Sunny Singh. And so far, I think he's had the right idea in his innings. Still a young innings. He's not looking to do anything too extravagant. Here we go, Wallace to Singh. It's on the legs, tucked away. Waiting for the signal from the umpire. Yeah, no signal, that's off the bat.
Yeah, I think if you're the batsman here, you're 24 overs in. You've got one bowler, 2 overs left of a spell, a couple of new ones coming in or coming back in. Maybe Adil Mahmood comes back in, maybe Finn Ridley comes back in.
Oh, playing a miss. There you go. He was just off balance with that shot. Hassan Khan Mohammed, shaky end to the over for him, 88 for 4.
I think you've just got to think, if you're a batsman here, 24 overs bowled, you want to be here by 35 overs. If you're here by 35 overs, you're giving your team a much, much better chance of posting a big total here. We're not even halfway through, as you say. There's still plenty of cricket to go for both sides.
Yeah, and even if you're around, 130 at the end of 35 overs, at least you've got your eye in, you've got some wickets in hand, and you're frustrating the opposition as well.
Well, and as we've seen from PACC's 2020 game, there's a lot of firepower to be had, even in the middle lower order, in terms of hitting runs quickly. As you say, a lot of players with natural ball striking ability. It's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, I tell you what, 4 or 5 overs of Ehsan Nawaz in full flow, and
exactly.
Yeah, things could get dangerous for HKCC.
Exactly. Especially, up here at Wong Nai Chung Gap, a relatively small boundary. I think we're playing just off centre on the square, so there will be a couple of opportunities to, there are opportunities to score big and score quickly.
Yeah, that leg side boundary, that straight boundary as well. From this end, perfect length, Rag Kapoor. How many times has he done this?
Yeah, I think we're eight overs and a bit into a spell, and since his first over, has bowled some great lines. I mean, the stats on plays and misses must be pretty high. He's very unlucky not to have taken a couple of edges.
Yeah, I think there's at least 12 plays and misses in his spell so far. Bit uppish. Like we said, the ball's just sticking in the wicket a tad.
Yeah, you can see it just coming onto the bat. We've had a couple of those boundaries that have come straight, kind of even straighter than mid-off, that look like they're just coming up off the top of the bat, don't they, or just above the middle of the bat. Just that slowing up. And I think he's also, sometimes it's difficult to gauge from here, but I think he's altering his pace quite a bit throughout the over as well. So I think looking at all the 6, he said that earlier with the keeper coming up and coming back, he's definitely putting in a few slower balls, a few really slow balls, that sort of thing. So it's definitely difficult to judge and get yourself into a rhythm as a batsman as well.
Yeah, right on cue, in fact. Adit Gorawara up to the stumps. Digs that out. Hassan Khan Mohammed yet to find any real fluency in his innings. Interestingly, at the non-striker's end, we see Sunny Singh just practicing a bit of a scoop shot. I think that's wise as well. Short boundaries behind square on the leg side. That's gone square on the leg side, in fact. That's a very good bit of running.
Yeah, first double in a while, I think. It's very good running.
It's so important to do that when you're unable to find the boundaries, picking up those 1s and 2s.
Yeah, and it's not easy up here. 2s have got to be quick, 3s are rare, I'd say. So as you say, at this stage of the game, you want to squeeze every run as possible.
It's a good end to the over, perfect length, bit of movement. Back into Hassan Khan. 91 for 4, they're still going at under 4 runs and over PACC. As you can see on your screen, big partnership there for the first wicket, but since then, HKCC have taken regular wickets. They've pegged back the opposition. Last 5 wickets have fallen for the addition of just 51 runs. That really paints the entire picture, doesn't it? PACC unable to string together meaningful partnerships That's why they find themselves behind in this contest right now. Interestingly, in the production team over here, before this game, we're thinking maybe PACC had a slight advantage coming into this contest. Just as I say that, yet another play and a miss. No, and Max, you spoke about this earlier. So many times we've seen the ball go past the outside edge. 91 for 5 could easily be 85 for 7.
Well, we haven't seen too many. Actually, a lot of the balls that have gone past the edge have actually been on defensive shots, which is agonising for the bowler. But actually, there aren't. Maybe Murtaza had a couple, and they're saying of actually aggressive shots. Gone past the bat. And there is a difference in that. As a batsman, you often don't mind a play and a miss on an expansive shot because you're taking the risk. But when you're playing and missing on a defensive shot, that's definitely eating away at you a tiny bit inside and getting the bowler. The bowler's excited either side. So Kapoor, Wallace won't mind these plays and misses, especially at this time of the aggressive plays and misses at this stage of the game. So we'll see a bit more of that coming through.
It's down the leg side. Looked like a full toss, in fact, that he completely missed. He looked a little too eager there, Hassan Khan Mohammed.
Yeah, I think it's come quick. And I think he got onto it a bit quick as well.
Yeah, Finn Ridley's had a bit of an interesting time there, down at fine leg. Almost signalled a 4 that wasn't a boundary. Oh, look at that. Nice and quick yet again, Charlie Wallace. He's been so good at this. He's used the bouncer very sparingly, Charlie Wallace. But around 20-30 minutes ago, accounted for the big wicket of Tanveer Afzal. Tell you what, Afzal was just about getting into his innings as well. A couple of boundaries for him, but dismissed in the teens. Yet another PACC batter who got his eye in and then walked back to the pavilion soon after. Look at that. Short delivery again, this time signalled wide. It's also the first bouncer of the over.
Yeah, as you're saying, Finn really down on that fine leg spot. You've got a fast bowler coming in from that end of the ground. You're probably one of the tightest fine legs around in terms of field position. Only 20 yards past the keeper. The ball, especially when it comes off the bat, is going to go quickly down there.
Oh, play and a miss. He should not have been on the front foot. Hassan Khan Mohammed. He's not the only PACC batter who likes to plant that front foot forward. You can see him just fiddling with his gloves.
Yeah, I think if you're Kinshit Shah today, I think you're with Charlie. I think you're going to give him a bit of free rein here. He doesn't have to be so tight on runs. Obviously, that's preferable if he is. But I think he can definitely afford a bit of mix-up with a shorter ball, a quicker ball, that sort of the longer-term, 50-over bowling, as we were talking about earlier, actually being able to build a spell, play around with it a bit, use that shorter ball, maybe more than once and over, or whatever it might be, which is, that's why he's useful in this kind of the bowling attack here. It's just something very different to everyone else in the team, which is exciting, especially at this stage of the game.
Oh, big shot. Just threw his hands at that one. Not sure what he was trying to do. End of yet another good over here for Charlie Wallace. After 26, it's 94 for 5. Max, I'm completely zipped up. I've thrown my hood on here at HKCC.
I was thinking of running into the club shop and buying some trousers. I've gone a bit too ambitious when I left my flat this morning.
Oh my god, are those flip-flops, mate? Gotta be kidding, man.
It's the English in me. This is the height of summer in England. So, this is me growing up playing cricket in these kind of conditions. So that's what we get used to.
I tell you what, I forgot it gets a little bit cold up here at Wong Nai Chang Gap Road. Thickish inside edge. There's work to do here for Fine Leg, who runs around, but he's unable to prevent them from coming back for 2. Last over, of course, for Ron Kapoor. Conceded 38. 5 balls left in his spell. It's been a really good spell. You talked about that as well, Max, that contest between Ron Kapoor and Yasim Murtaza.
I think it was a key couple of overs, a key over and a half. That could have been really dangerous. Could have been really dangerous for HKCC, against HKCC in those kind of middle overs. Has the potential to either get PACC back in the game or really take the game away from them as well. HKCC have stumbled a couple of times this season from letting that happen, letting a batsman come in, at 3 or 4 or 5 and hit 100, which completely changes the game. So that over and a half was really key.
Oh, it's up in the air. An attempted flick, mistimed. He still gets through for a single.
And it's a funny thing with cricket. It's one of those sports that you look at his spell. 10 overs or 9.5 overs, 40 for 1. I think that underestimates the. It's great. I think it's good economy. Not so many runs for 50. But actually, I think it still underestimates the usefulness of the spell in terms of the game. Coming on, with 8 overs bowled or whatever, and 35 for no loss or 38 for no loss, and bowl 10 on the trot is a great game.
Yes, allowed Fincher to just plug one end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And then to mix it up at the other end with Luke and Charlie, 2 completely different bowlers. It's so useful for a captain to do.
Still got a lot of options as well, Kinshit Shah. You have Finn Ridley. You got Adil Mahmood, all capable of bowling in the death. Charlie Wallace as well.
Yeah, I think Finn must have only bowled 3, Adil 4, something along those lines. So they've both got a lot of overs to go. I can see Adil trying to keep himself as warm as possible over in that corner with the long jumper on.
2 balls left in Ron Kapoor's spell. Yep, nice and straight once again. I think he's only bowled a couple of extras, Ron Kapoor, so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't actually seen many extras from HKCC at all. A couple of wides. There's 1 no ball earlier, I think.
Oh, that's up in the air. Change of pace. This could be the 6th wicket. Yes, absolutely. The end of Hassan Khan Muhammad, the shaky innings, as Ninad Shah at mid-off takes that catch. 99 for 6. Max, things going from bad to worse here.
Yeah, he's deserved that, I think. He's deserved that a lot. I think he's bowled really, really well. Was that his last ball of the spell? Finished up 10 overs, 40 runs for 2 wickets. He bowled 10 on the trot. He came in at a really important time when PACC were arguably started off very, very well, very steady. As you were saying, he's plugged a gap for the captain. He's played a really, really, it's a massive spell in the context of the game. And that wicket there has finally been, one that PACC have got away with a couple of times today. And again, it all comes back to that ball, the change of pace, sticking in the wicket a tiny bit, and that kind of straight drive it's popped up a couple of times for 4 down behind the bowler's head, but that one is just kind of popped up fully, doesn't it? And kind of mid-off has come back in and taken a relatively straightforward catch. So I think it's a great way for him to finish off the spell. It's a shame because I think it was Khan was 10 off 18, was actually looking pretty solid, pretty stable, doing what he had to do. But 98 for 6. This is going to be a tough period. 98 for 6 off 27. Wallace still 6 overs to go. Adil Mahmood, I think maybe 5 or 6 to bowl. Finn Ridley 5 or 6 to bowl. Luke Jones still 5 or 6 to bowl. It'll be interesting. Next couple of overs, see what PACC can do here to kind of change the fortunes of the game. But I think it's going to be tough.
Tell you what, a big opportunity though for Alian Muhammad, the youngster. So impressive in the age group level 4 Hong Kong. Highly regarded in Hong Kong cricketing circles. Make no mistake, Alian Mohammed is a specialist batter. He's got a very high ceiling, the youngster. He's got a big opportunity and a big challenge as well with 23 overs left. It's hard to see how PACC are going to get past 200 here. It's nudged away. An easy single for Sunny Singh. Alian facing up to his first delivery now. Alian, of course, did play one game at that epic group All-Star Series. Failed to make an impression. In fact, I think he did hit a maximum early on in his innings.
That always helps boost the confidence a bit.
Nah, he's a good player. A lot of potential.
How old is he?
Nitesh? 21?
21?
Under 19.
Is he?
Yeah, there you go. Still in the under 19 setup. Alian Mohammed. Yeah, it's pitched up for a change from Charlie Wallace.
Yeah, nasty little slower ball pitch up is a good. Yeah, it's a good first ball up to him.
You know what, Max? I can feel it. I'm going to call it. I think he's going to have a nice little knock here today, Alian Mohammed.
Yeah, we could see him. Good to see him back.
Might just be a 20 or 30, but I think it's going to be useful.
Yeah.
20 or 30.
Yeah. I think, you know, at this stage, you know, just getting sounds straightforward, but just getting, you know, some kind of score that is defendable. You know, I think with 50-50 at this stage, you know, you can always defend a score. I think, but you know, getting above that 130, 140 is the bare you know, is likely to be the bare minimum of a defendable score, unless something catastrophic happens. So, you know, these batsmen definitely still have something to do and to pitch in and contribute to the score.
Yeah, a bit of a mini milestone, 100 up now for PACC. Not a single member of that dugout is up and applauding. I think that's because they know that they're in big trouble right now. 100 for 6. Tell you what, if they're bowled out for 150, 160, someone like Martin Kutsia opening the batting on his home ground. Tell you what, Martin Kutsia turns into a different player when he plays at HKCC. I still remember that century he scored against Little Saiwan way back in 2020. I think that was one of the first games played in Hong Kong in the pandemic era. It's a pleasure, of course, commentating on that game. 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years,
God.
yeah.
I think Martin Kutsia's almost qualified for Hong Kong as well.
I think so. Yeah, he will come out firing, I think, today, that's for sure. That's his natural style of play anyway. But I think, you know, especially when a score is in your sights, you know, he's the kind of guy that will drive him on to try and score freely early on. So I'm looking forward to that later on today.
Defended, straight to backward point. We have another player in HKCC of Southern African descent, Fian van Sale. Max, have you seen much of Fian van Sale?
I have not, I'm afraid. So I cannot add anything. This is actually the first time I've seen him play in the Premier League side. I don't think he was playing in the 2020 competition, and I haven't seen him play in the last couple of the 50 over games in the Premier League side as well. So looking forward to seeing him later today as well.
He was in behind that nicely. Alian. Another over ticks by, another inexpensive one for HKCC. It's exactly 100 for 6 after 28. But a decent over rate as well from HKCC. They bowled their first 28 overs in 128 minutes.
Yeah, I think it helps. Luke Jones rattled through his 4 or 5 very quickly. Kapoor's was pretty quick, wasn't it, as well? Especially the last 10 overs, 10, 15 overs, fair few maidens crept in there as well. Been pretty quick in the field. I think they've managed to get on with it, quite well this morning. Maybe the cold has hurried them up a bit as well. A couple of these guys at HKCC today. Focused the mind.
A change in bowling. Adil Mahmood back into the attack. 5 overs, 1 for 12. Picked up that wicket of Robaid Ehtesham in the 10th over.
Yeah, bowling at a different end, I think, from his first 5 overs. It's not uncommon for him to bowl at either end on this pitch, this wicket. Seemingly letting Charlie carry on from the road end.
I think he would have learnt a lot as well from that Rag Kapoor spell.
I think that's right.
So don't be surprised if he takes the pace off. The PACC, they need to adjust.
Yeah, I think Adil will be very happy to let it kind of, quite full outside off stump, take the pace off a tiny bit, let it move around a bit outside that off stump. Kept a slip in. Still, I think pretty much the whole of the match so far today. A couple of catches on the offside. He'll be quite happy to run in his next 5 overs up here. Usually has a very kind of smooth and steady rhythm. Anyway for himself. So I think the next kind of 5 overs we'll see more of the same.
Down the track goes Sunny Singh, just about beats Kinchit Shah at mid-wicket. But a thickish inside edge means he will only pick up a single.
I think you've noticed as well, just in the last 2 overs, HKCC actually maintained a pretty aggressive field for the first 20, 25, 26. A number of catches up, especially for Kapoor. It's just seeing them push the field a bit back, with Adil and Charlie coming on now. And I think if they just they've managed to get themselves to the point where if they can just stem those boundaries and dry up boundaries for 10 overs, it is going to be hard for PACC to put scores on the board. They just have to concentrate on hitting 1s or 2s. But psychologically that can be a bit difficult as well. I think they're just letting young Mohammed here, bringing the field in a tiny bit for him, maybe letting him just see some gaps for the field and look for that boundary. Maybe hope that he becomes a bit expansive because of that as well. So I think it's interesting to see Kinchit kind of move the field around a bit here as well over the next couple of overs and kind of work the pressure on either of these 2 batsmen.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. The teenager Alian Mohammed, he knows he has a point to prove. I'm sure he wants to be batting a lot higher than number 8. There you go, nudged into the leg side. An easy single. It can be tough sometimes when you're a young player, batting at number 8 in spite of being a specialist batter.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, we're not running an NGO here. You've got to earn your stripes with the senior team. A bit of an optimistic appeal.
Yeah, that's right. It can be difficult for some of the younger players when, especially at their age range, their age level, representative level, can either be used to either opening the batting, opening the bowling, both, whatever it might be, to coming up and playing in the more senior level. Maybe you're getting pushed from opening the batting to 7-8 or 6-7-8 and bowling also, opening the bowling to first change or second change can be a very different outlook on the game for you when you're young. But that's all, as you say, that's all part and parcel of developing and progressing through the game as well. And I think that can happen very quickly. If he has 1 or 2 seasons, that will completely change, and he'll jump much further up the batting order. But as you say, cricket is one of those that you've really got to earn your stripes as well, don't you? So be looking forward to seeing him back in the next couple of years as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Sure, Alian as well is dreaming of making it into the national team. And in fact, Nitesh Hemlani informs me that he also bowls and keeps at the junior level. I haven't seen him bowl at the senior level though, early on. So at least for now, I guess he's more of a batter than a bowler. Here we go, Luke Jones. Oh, causing all sorts of trouble. 104 for 6. We're into the 30th over. I tell you what, bit of a nightmare this for Pakistan Association. They were 40 for no loss at one point.
Luke has started straight where he left off, hasn't he? He bowled a cracking first 4 overs. That second ball has gone straight past the bat on the outside edge, taken by the keeper, thrown straight back to Luke. He's just found a really nice flight and length on his bowling today. Seems like he's enjoying the conditions. Bit of spin on the wicket as well. I think that's, off his 4.3, I think that's his third loose delivery that he's bowled. So he's been pretty tight coming in from the leg spinner today.
Picked up that big wicket of Zishan Ali as well. Oh, once again in the air, just short of Kinshut Shah in the cover region. Of course, getting both Zishan Ali and the well-set Hamid Khan out.
Yeah, I know there's a long way to go, but would love to see one more aggressive fielder up inside the circle somewhere. You've still got a slip in place. The ball's just popped up there to kind of a short extra cover, but not so short, is it?
That's a big appeal, and it's given. Third wicket for Luke Jones. It looked pretty adjacent to me. It looks like Sunny Singh maybe indicating that he might have gotten some bat on that. Nonetheless, it's the umpire's decision that counts. 7 wickets down now, 103 for 7. Things going from hard to worse to really difficult.
I think Luke's just changed it up there. I think you can see from the umpire's indication. I think it was more of an arm ball. I don't think it was his stock delivery moving away. It seemed like it was almost kind of arm ball slider kind of thing, just straight on it basically. And as you were saying, it's tough here. We're 10 wickets. We're 10 meters kind of to the right hand side of the stumps. But the height looked good. From what we can say, the line looked pretty good. Question of bat, tough for us to say, isn't it? I think at that point, but again, a great delivery, nice, lovely flight again, just putting it up there, a good length. Umpire didn't seem too hesitant, did he?
I tell you what, I've seen Luke Jones bowl more than just a few times, and it's got to be the most impressive spell I've seen from him.
I was thinking the same. Just after those first couple of balls of the second spell, he bowled throughout the 2020, bowled throughout the couple of the 50 over games this season. But this is the best spell I think I've seen him bowl in my short HKCC career. I'll hasten to that.
He's a good, handy cricketer, can bat as well.
Yeah. Well, I think especially in the 50 over season, he's the type of batsman that will be very useful, and require kind of middle order. You need those batsmen in the middle order that can either accelerate or hang around for long periods of time. You need that depth in your batting lineup. So for him, he could play a very important role in both aspects today, in terms of accumulating runs and bowling out. He's likely to bowl out kind of 7-8 overs, isn't he? If not more.
Yeah, I get the feeling maybe he won't bowl out his overs because, PACC are in real...
That's the question, yeah.
This can happen, right? When you switch from the T20 to the 50 over format. I wouldn't be surprised if even at KCC, one of those two teams gets bowled out inside 50 overs. It's not easy making that transition. I'm sure a lot of these players as well coming off a bit of a winter break. So go anywhere for winter break, Max?
Yes, back to the UK for a very cold winter break, where nothing really seemed to be working infrastructure-wise. House didn't have any water. Trains weren't working. Very cold and very dark. So, but no, good to go back first time in a while. Given COVID restrictions and that sort of thing. But good to be back in Hong Kong after a kind of 2-week break. Back in this time of year. The weather's variable, but still at least kind of nothing too cold and wet usually. So. Good to be back, and actually it's a nice time of year to play cricket. Quite often dry, still cold but dry. Sometimes a bit easier than those kind of August, September, even May, June days where it's getting up to 35 degrees and humid. It can be tough to play cricket for me.
I tell you what, this kind of weather is it's rare in the sense that I'd rather be out there in the middle than in the commentary box, because I'm not gonna lie,
still moving around. Yeah, still moving around. Still moving around a bit. Just that slight movement helps, doesn't it? But sitting stationary over in this corner of HKCC is you feel the full front of the cold. That's for sure.
3 balls left in this over. Adil Mahmood looking for his second wicket. Big appeal, perhaps just sliding down leg. I tell you what, one place where it isn't that cold or rainy or cloudy is Chiang Mai, Thailand. Had a fantastic 1-week vacation.
Very nice.
In Chiang Mai.
Yeah, it's great to be able to travel freely again. Chiang Mai is a great spot, great food, good weather.
Mate, I overdosed on coconut milk-based curries.
That's it, yeah. that's the usual.
Cheeky cow soy, a bit of green curry.
Cow soy, yeah.
Some drunken noodles, pad ki mao. Look at that, just as we were saying, KCC, they're 120 for 7 inside 23 overs down in Kowloon. Yeah, Max, I mean, we called it as well. It's not easy switching from the T20 to the 50 over format. Ooh, bit of aggression there from Adil Mahmood. It's the end of the over, 104 for 7 after 31.
Yeah, I think the one thing you can forget as well is for a lot of these players, their last game was probably mid-December. A couple of people away, kind of Christmas, New Year's break. Obviously a lot of these players are, highly skilled players, but lack of training also doesn't help. Probably a lot of lack of time in the nets for a couple of these guys, a couple of the batsmen, a couple of the bowlers, plus the adjustment from, having played a lot of 2020 over the last couple of months. We'll probably take time to, start seeing some big old scores over the next couple of weeks, but I'm sure that will come.
Oh, tossed up again.
Good patience, good leave, good patience from Alian Mohammed.
The good thing for Alian is he's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
Still another 18 overs left after this. He's batting on 2 of 13 right now. The Hong Kong under-19 star. I'll tell you what, the Hong Kong under-19 so impressive in that Division 2 Asia qualifier. They finished in second place, just behind Singapore. And of course, they've now been promoted Division 1. That Division 1 Asia qualifier, the top 2 teams from that will go in to the Under-19 World Cup. Or maybe just the top team, in fact, yeah. Just one place at that Under-19 World Cup. It's 4 consecutive dot balls now, Luke Jones. Look, it's all well and good getting your eye in and staying at the crease, but Alian Mohammed, you've got to get some runs at some point. Gets off strike, and it's Ehsan Nawaz, the new batter at the crease, walking in at number 9 today. I tell you what, he's very dangerous, Ehsan Nawaz.
Yeah, I can throw a bat. That's good.
Push down the ground, straight to mid-on. Another tied over, just 1 run off it. 105 for 7.
They're going to be breaking for a quick drink.
Yep, absolutely. So it's 105 for 7 after 32. We can take a quick break for drinks. Don't go too far. The other side of this break, we're going to have the last, well, potentially 18 overs of this contest.
Everyone deserves a chance.
An opportunity.
And an equal playing field. To reach their full potential.
This is about courage.
This is about determination. This is about the opportunity to be the best you can be.
No matter what.
It doesn't matter where you are from, the color of your skin,
or what gender you identify with.
You are entitled to a fair break.
Apologies for that, folks. Commentator's just taking a quick break. 105 for 7. Last ball of the 33rd over. Adil Mahmood wraps him on the pad and it's been given. A lot of appeal for LBW against Alian Muhammad and it has been given out. 8 down now, Pakistan Association for 105 runs in 33 overs. Adil Mahmood with his second wicket of the day. And it's just a bit of a procession in the last few overs here for PACC. Yet another wicket down, and they're definitely going to struggle now to push up to 130, 140. They've got a bowling attack to potentially defend that, but still a lot of work to get there. Nazrul Rana, I think, might be the new batter coming in to join Ehsan Nawaz. 8 down for 105 in 33 overs. Outstanding performance by the Hong Kong Cricket Club today to start their Premier League one-day campaign. Hand you back over.
So Adil Mahmood finishing up his 8th over with the wicket of Alian Mohammed. LBW hitting him. He's got a middle way up the pad, looking like knocking into off stump. Good ball. PACC 105 for 8 off 33. Luke Jones coming back on for his 7th over. Luke Jones 6 overs bowled so far, 1 maiden, 14 runs, 3 wickets. A fantastic spell. Sure to see him finish off the next couple of overs in his spell as well. Luke Jones. Good delivery first up, flighted, batted back away to him. He's bowled a great line and length so far, Luke Jones, today. Great flight, good pitching areas coming on, 3 wickets to his name. Tough one to describe that ball over unless you're watching the video. Lee Jones putting down a ball coming over the stumps in the end. Nawaz trying to kind of take a back step and scoop it back over, and actually missed but caught it slip. 3rd ball of the over swatted away out to deep extra cover for a single.
I tell you what, 8 wickets down. Pakistan Association's innings is going nowhere. But it might even be a blessing in disguise for Ehsan Nawaz. I don't think there's any point even trying to bat out the full 50 overs at this point. So Ehsan Nawaz, I think you've got the license to go, well, just go ballistic.
That's right. It hits that stage sometimes in a 50 over game and in this kind of innings that actually can loosen up the opportunities for the batsman, which can actually often be the benefit to the batting side. Where it gets to a point where you're realistically not looking to bat out the remainder of the overs, 16 and a half overs to go, 106 for 8. Actually, you can potentially give you opportunity to give yourself the opportunity to actually score runs and score quickly, which can often, for the kind of middle lower order tail end batters, suit their style of play even more with that kind of aggressive nature. And a couple of boundaries here would prove very useful.
Tell you what, we now have a second slip in position for Luke Jones. And it's interesting as well because Nazrul Rana, he likes to have a slog as well. I think at this point, PACC, just go for it. Your top order hasn't done the job. The middle order hasn't done much better.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think defending, defending at this stage is likely to give you more errors. I think coming through, attacking some of these shots might force the bowlers a tiny bit off their line. Open up opportunities for more attacking shots going forward. And all these guys are looking to do now is score 30 to 50 runs would be great, wouldn't it? I think at this stage. So. And that, you're not going to get that by putting away dot balls in the next couple of overs. Saying that, Luke Jones, Adil Mahmood, they've bowled tight lines since coming back on for their second spells as well. It's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy to get away those runs and those boundaries. But HKCC are quite tight. Defence is, field is still quite tight. 1, 2, 3, 5 players in the ring. Someone off a kind of deep square leg, fine leg, deep third man. Other than that, a pretty regulation field. 3 on the offside, 2 on the leg side, 1 slip.
Down the track goes Ehsan Nawaz, not to the pitch of the ball. Bails out of the shot. Now, Max, I think we're going to see a very entertaining next, I was about to say next 20 or 30 minutes, but the innings might not last that long.
No, I think definitely at this stage there, I think Nawaz especially has to be proactive in what they're going to do over the next 10-20 minutes. I think that's the only way that they're going to kind of slightly get themselves off the hook here and get some runs. I think defence will create mistakes here, I think. Looking solid in defence, to be fair.
Batting on 2 of 14 right now. That's on Nawaz. And I think Kinshit Shah knows as well, the skipper of HKCC, that he's going to be the more aggressive of these 2 batters. And that's why, for one of the first times today, we see a long on in position.
Well, I was just thinking that in the last over for Luke Jones, actually, obviously different type of bowlers, but would have expected maybe the one of mid-on, mid-off to be long. Just because you're a tail ender doesn't mean you can't hit a big 6. So I wouldn't be surprised maybe if we keep a long on or a long off for both of these bowlers going forward.
Made him calling it. I can feel it. Maximum coming.
I think either of these batsmen will definitely be keen for it, won't they? I know I would be if I was out there batting at 8 or 9 here.
It's not often at HKCC that we see 30 plus overs go by without a maximum.
Correct. I mean, even for opening batsmen here, I think for a proportion, of grounds where opening batsmen hit 6s, this has got to be high. If any ball is short, the pull is very easily on the cards for 6 early doors, but we haven't seen anything of it.
Down the track, every single ball in this over, Ehsan Nawaz has come down the track. I think he's looking to go leg side as well. Anything in his arc, he's going to want to deposit it out of the park. But full credit to Adil Mahmood so far. He's getting the better of this contest right now. 2 for 14, 1 ball left in his 9th over. Again down the track, again not to the pitch of the ball. A very good over from Adil Mahmood. It's still 106 for 8. Look at that. That run rate now is down close to 3 runs and over. KCC as well down in Kowloon, 132 for 8. Still 2 slips in position. There you go, full toss. Unable to capitalize on that, Nasrul Rana. That can happen sometimes. You play the situation instead of the ball. A bit uppish. And now they're going exactly 3 runs and over Pakistan Association. They're losing wickets. They're not finding boundaries. They're not finding singles. They're finding the fielders over and over again. See a strong wind blowing from left to right yet again. Ever since that first power play, the winds have changed here at the Hong Kong Cricket Club. 3 for 15.
Luke's given that a bit of extra flight, hasn't he, there? I think that one really tempting the batsman in to have a flash through the offside. Just got out of the way for 1.
I tell you what, as a neutral fan, I'm glad he picked up a single, because I think this is going to be a really interesting battle. Ehsan Nawaz versus
on the
Luke
spin.
Jones.
Yep.
You can see an extra man going back on the boundary there on the leg side.
I'm still surprised to see that long on. The kind of it's a mid on at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, you see those 2 men on the deep over by the clubhouse.
Yeah, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, both back on the boundary.
Backward square leg as well on the 45.
And both slips have been taken out. Goes down the track, goes straight. Has he got the elevation and the distance on it? Not quite.
Yeah, that's just the shot that's just the shot where, you'd think that one of those 2 men kind of stays on the boundary. Luke's been bowling quite straight, slightly out of offside. I think for me the obvious shot is to try and go straight here. That short boundary on the roadside. The short boundary on both angles are really behind the stumps.
Bang goes Nasrullah Rana. I think he's found the gap. In fact, good bit of fielding there from mid-on, who runs back and keeps it down to a single. Interestingly, at KCC, like I said, they're 132 for 8. They won the toss and chose to bat first.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
A bit of a misunderstanding, sent back just in time. Yeah, you can see Ehsan Nawaz and Nasrullah Rana just exchanging a few words.
It'll be interesting to see both the run chases of HKCC, USRC today. Both chasing likely to be low totals, maybe sub 150. It'll be interesting to see how that will set up the tone for the next couple of games as well, as to whether we see a couple of sluggish, difficult run chases or whether they get knocked off with these. We will see this afternoon. Clouds seem to be okay for now, don't they? But actually quite bright coming out off the south of the island.
I tell you what, I would not mind some sunshine right now.
Yeah, I'm just loading up on another jumper up here.
Now, I tell you what, you touched upon this just a moment ago. Every chance we could see 2 sub 150 run chases, and I think 150 is now that magical score.
Yep, for sure.
And PACC, if they can get up to that 150 mark, a couple of early wickets, things could get interesting. Oh, that's edged just short of the keeper. Look at that. Adil Mahmood into his last over could have had his 3rd wicket.
Would have been a good catch. Would have been low down to his right hand side, came quickly. It wasn't one of those that popped up, was it? It was kind of that low, flat trajectory, slight outside edge, not super hard hands. Would have been a cracking catch.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that goes down as a drop. Maybe. It just got his fingertips.
In Adil's mind it would.
It's actually Hafiz Khan on strike, not Nasrullah Rana. .109 for 8, 4 balls left in this, the 37th over. At one stage, PACC were going at 4.5 runs and over. 40 for no loss in the 10th over. They were looking good. On track for something in the region of maybe 250. In fact, we were talking about 300. That's before we knew more about the pace of this wicket. There you go, just squaring up Hafiz Khan.
Back
gotta say, 2 for 14, 3 balls left in his 10-over spell. Adil Mahmood. More often than not, he's right on the money. It's been fantastic so far today. The right arm seamer from HKCC's heavily involved in the coaching setup here as well at HKCC. That's down the leg side. Signaled wide. Bit of a commentator's curse there. In the distance you can see those flags blowing in the wind. That HKCC flag, the Hong Kong flag as well. That white Bohemia on a red background. Straight back to Adil Mahmood.
Yes,
HKCC.
It's good. We've got two of the, all three of the kind of main HKCC fans today. Martin Goodson, Luke Jones, and Bill Mahmood. And two of them have had a very good contribution today so far, haven't they? I'm sure many of the HKCC fans will be hoping for a contribution from Martin Kutsia early on in the next innings as well after lunch.
I tell you what, a quick fire half century from Martin Kutsia.
Set them up very well.
Yeah, we're taking an early cab home. Oh, once again an outside edge. It beats Adit Gorawara. And it goes down to the boundary for a, well, I have to say, a very rare boundary here for Pakistan Association. First boundary as well for Hafiz Khan. He moves on to 6 off 12. 114 for 8. They're getting a little bit closer to that magical 150 mark we were talking about. And that's the thing for PACC. When they come out to bowl, they're going to be defending a low target in all probability. And they have to pick up early wickets, especially Martin Kutsia. That's a little too straight. Flicked down to deep fine leg, who's got some work to do. And no, he's unable to cut it off. Second boundary of the over.
Valuable boundaries, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see the lineup of HKCC today. I think you'd assume Martin out first. Ginchik probably high up the order somewhere. Maybe Ninad as well could do.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit surprised with 2 boundaries coming in that 38th over.
I don't think we've seen two boundaries in an over for quite some time.
That's good if you're a PACC or a neutral fan. 118 for 8.
Yeah, I know there are a couple of fans over there at the bottom of the clubhouse wanting to see a full day's cricket. So you know, they're edging out these extra runs is also useful for some HKCC guys to actually get out there and have to build some runs and have a proper knock as well, which is going to be key for their season going forward as well.
Cut away, straight to backward point. Ninad Shah, who's going to have a role to play with the bat. Very attractive 71, of course, in the T20 Premier League. I think we spoke about this earlier as well, Max. Not much in terms of batting performances in that T20 Premier League for HKCC.
I think HKCC will be hoping to line up some big runs in the 50 over league over the next couple of months. A few things really getting their eye on getting stuck into the league and starting to accumulate some serious runs.
HKCC, of course, winless in that Gencor Men's T20 Premier League.
Yep, they had a tough old time. I was up here watching a fair few of the games, obviously on Sundays. The season just never seemed to start. There are a couple of false starts with the bat, but
a full toss on the legs. Finn Ridley, deep square leg, makes no mistake, keeps it down to just 1.
No, nothing too much backed up with the bat throughout the whole series as well. So I think there'll be a couple of members of this team really looking forward to getting back out there and getting the opportunity to put some runs on the board. I think the bowlers have done a great job today. Well backed up. Particularly well. So hopefully that carries on throughout the season. But we'll see. Start seeing how it gets backed up with the bats as well.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. In fact, can't really remember HKCC making too many mistakes with the ball. Bit of a loose first over from Finn Ridley.
Yeah.
5 wides down the leg side. A couple of more extras from the tall right arm seamer. But even Finn Ridley caused a lot of problems for Wade Shah and Hamid Khan at the top of the order. A change in bowling. I think that's Fian Vansale. Yeah. It's my first chance to have a look at Vansale. And interestingly, no Kinshit Shah at the bowling crease so far. The HKCC
I think he'll be getting himself ready to bat, won't he? I think mentally, Kinshit.
He got engaged last year as well.
Correct.
Proposed to his soon-to-be wife. In fact, I think they are married now.
They are. Yeah. So that's why post following the Asian Cup, where I believe the engagement happened. I think that he's spent a pretty extended period of time over in India, so I haven't actually had the opportunity to see him bat yet this season. So I think everyone excited to have him back in the side and bolster that top order. Ninad was injured a fair bit of the season as well. So I'd like to think this kind of top 4, top 5, top 6 batters, is getting somewhere close to top strength.
There's a comeback for another useful 2 runs here. Hafiz Khan building a nice little innings here, coming in at number 10. In fact, he's outscored Ehsan Nawaz so far. That score now 122 for 8. A nice mini partnership between Hafiz Khan and Ehsan Nawaz. There are gaps to be exploited. I'm not entirely sure why square leg is on the heels of that circle. In fact, it looks like he's dropping back now to a deep square leg.
Called that well.
It's going to be an invitation as well from Kinshit Shah. Just entice the batters to go play across the line. And that, of course, will bring that LBW into play as well. Through the offside, doesn't find the gap, in fact. Straight to Luke Jones in the cover region. It's important. Next 5 overs or so for PACC. They can get up to 160, 170. They can make a bit of a game of this.
Absolutely.
End of the over. After 39, it's 122 for 8. 4 of 23, Ehsan Nawaz. He's going to be on strike. Still looking for his first boundary. And at the other end, of course, is Hafiz Khan. Undefeated on 13. We have a change in bowling. It's Charlie Wallace back into the attack. Max, what do you make of this change?
No, it's still Luke. It's going to be Luke again. It's just Charlie off a shortened run up. No, Luke in for his final over of the spell. He's bowled 9 for 20 for 3. It's been a great spell of bowling from him. Start off his 50 over Premier League campaign.
It's been a good start. Ooh, once again, uppish. In fact, he's found the gap there.
Yep.
First boundary for Ehsan Nawaz, a streaky one through the covers. But runs are runs, Max.
Yeah. No, I think Luke will be wondering if there's someone to pull out of the leg side here. He's been bowling consistently well, around off stump, just outside off stump. We haven't seen many kind of
kind of attacking, shots over mid-on, cow corner, deep mid-wicket, and I think they are now just pulling someone over or maybe pushing a couple of people around. But I wouldn't be surprised to see another kind of capture come in on the offside here as well, because it's saying that they're enticing him to drive, aren't they? They're allowing him to drive up onto the offside here.
Yeah, I think I just noticed Kinshit Shah coming in a little bit closer.
Yeah.
A bit of a streaky single there, but nice early call. I think even with the direct hit, Ehsan Nawaz would have been in. Batting on 9 not out now. Every single run, every boundary counts. It's never too late for a recovery here from PACC. This partnership ticking along nicely. Yeah, that slip coming back in for Hafiz Khan. It's Ninad Shah at first slip. Tossed up, full toss in fact. Unable to take advantage of that. Two balls left in this spell for Luke Jones. 3 big wickets for him so far. Can he make it 4? Tossed up. Well fielded. Kinshit Shah, he's been really good in the field, the HKCC skipper.
Yeah, he's been keeping himself warm out there. I think quite cold out in the middle. A lot of the fielders looking to keep warm, run around a bit before lunch.
Look at that, first signs of sunshine today at HKCC.
Yeah, it's definitely brightening up on the left-hand side. Let's hope that sticks around.
Yeah, I don't see too many dark clouds in the sky right now. That's a good thing. Ooh, oohs and ahs from Luke Jones as well.
Yeah, I think he likes that. He pitched, which he hasn't done too much in his spell. He just over-pitched probably 2 balls there. Just brought it back a foot. So I think got himself a bit interested in that one. And that is his spell done. A cracking spell, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 25. A couple of important wickets in there, weren't there? A good overall spell for Luke.
Yeah, just 10 overs left now. 3 for 25 in his full quota, Luke Jones. I tell you what though, alongside Rag Kapoor, really turned the screws on this PACC lineup.
Yeah, if you look at those two, both of them completed the spell, 10 overs each. What was it, 55 runs between them or so. Taking up 20 overs, it's a great economy rate. A couple of wickets each. Two pretty key spells for HKCC today. Had an instrumental part to play in reducing PACC 127 for 8. 10 overs to play until lunch.
On the legs, unable to find the gap there. But yeah, Kinshit Shah has been in at either mid-wicket or cover throughout this innings. Oh, look at that, bit of bounce. Just beating the right-hander. In fact, it runs down to the boundary. Waiting for the signal. I think, yeah, there you go. Off the bat. So it was an outside edge. It was a catching opportunity. Adit Gorawara should have taken that.
It's not the kind of bounce that the HKCC batsman will want to see at this stage of the day. A regular bounce outside of off stump. That really popped up. Came off caught batsman and keeper by surprise.
A low full toss, inside edged, down to fine leg for a useful single. Yeah, and that's the thing for the batters, especially when bowlers are bowling from this end. The ball just sticking in the wicket on that 4th stump line.
Yeah, I think if you're PACC bowling attack, seaming attack, you wouldn't mind seeing a couple of those in the next couple of overs, would you?
No, not at all. Ehsan Nawaz on strike right now.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. He'll be interested.
Oh, look at that. Once again, bit of an inside edge. But no, Ehsan Nawaz, he's going to have a huge role to play with the ball. And, well, he's on both a rebuilding and a reconnaissance mission as well right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Two balls left in the second over for Fion Vansil. Oh, there you go. Another play and a miss.
Yeah, a very different type of spin to Luke Jones coming off the other end, isn't it? Much right arm off, much faster, lower trajectory, getting into the pitch. It's potentially why we're seeing that kind of more variable bounce coming through as well. I think they've taken the slip out for now.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of Worcestershire's Daryl Mitchell,
Yeah,
Sri
that's
Lanka's Asela Gunaratne.
That's right. The kind of bowlers that, at the one day and at the test level, you could bowl 10 in a row, quick 10 in a row. Can you test level 30, 40 overs in an innings? It's that kind of quick, short, sharp, right arm over off spin, isn't it? So yeah, I thought this would be the case. Bring Charlie Wallace now back on after Luke Jones has finished his spell. He's got 5 more overs to come. I think this is a good idea. Put a bit of pace back onto the ball. The pace is going to come back here. Charlie Wallace first 5. That's key overs in the middle of the innings, and they bring a bit of pace back on. Get it up into these two tail end batsmen. I hate to use the term tail end. Both in the ball, but that's where they are at the moment.
Oh, playing a miss. Yeah, Hafiz Khan. Nice little start for him right now. I get the feeling that if these two stay at the crease for any length of time, those roles are going to reverse. I think we're going to see Ehsan Nawaz assume the mantle of aggressor.
Yeah, he's been patient and cautious at the other end, hasn't he? But now Khan has got 28 balls under his belt, a couple of runs. I think you're right.
Plays inside the line of that one. Not for the first time, a Pakistan Association batter today being beaten on the inside edge.
You know what? Again, if you're a PACC bowler, Nawaz at the other end there, that's kept low. For me, it's kept low. It's darted through a bit. I wouldn't really want to be seeing that if I was coming into bat in 10 overs or so. It's the first ball that's really kept low on the wicket.
Upish, and he's found that gap. In fact, he goes over backward point and picks up his 3rd boundary. Hafiz Khan, a nice little cut shot there, and this partnership continuing to grow. Max, is it too early for HKCC to get a bit worried?
I mean, I think PACC, 100, even when 120, they've got the batsmen to be able to have pushed it above 150. They're looking to do that at the moment. I think if you're HKCC, you've just got to be patient here and keep doing what you've been doing.
Oh, that's a big appeal. Adit Gorawara, the only one appealing.
Yeah, Charlie Wallace wasn't interested, was he?
Yeah, interestingly, it's been given 1 bouncer of the over.
Yeah, I thought that was harsh. It looked quite low. It didn't bounce that high, but he seems to be keeping Charlie in check. That's for sure. But no, I mean, HKCC just need to keep on doing what they've been doing. I don't think they should let these runs bother them. I think for them, the difference between 110, 120 and 150 is sizable, but for them I don't think that would have changed what they know they need to do, and is go out and a few of the batsmen at the top of the order to put on 40-50 runs each. So I think 110 is a very easy chase. 150 makes it significantly harder, but I don't think that will change the batsmen's minds, as they know that they need to go out and hit some runs to chase this down today.
Ooh, on the leg side, I think it's come off the pad. I think Ehsan Nawaz is too happy with himself. That's not the first time he's missed out on a delivery on his hips. Nonetheless, this partnership continues to grow, a partnership of 33. And after 42 overs, Pakistan Association Cricket Club are 138 for 8. Now, but you're right, Max. A huge difference between chasing 110 and something in the region of 150, 160. There's every chance they could get to 170, 180.
Yep.
Yeah, if they do get up to 170, 180, that changes up the equation.
For sure.
Down the ground, bit uppish, doesn't find the gap though.
Yeah, the difference being with those scores is 120, 130. You know, you can actually put in a pretty average batting chase. A couple of people can hit 20, 30. No one really needs to go big to chase that down. You know, the difference with 180 is that, someone in your top 4 needs to hit 50, 60 plus, or a couple of people do. And that's that bridge of 50 runs is definitely the difference between...
Ooh, that's a big appeal, but I think there's an inside edge, maybe not. Shiroy Macha disagrees with me. Hafiz Khan, he's not too happy, but he's going to have to walk back to the pavilion. 9 wickets down now, 138 for 9.
Yeah, I think if that didn't hit the bat, it's pretty plum. It looked. Van Zyl didn't even look like he wanted to. It didn't need to celebrate. It was a bit of a kind of a Stuart Broad no celebrate, no appeal kind of wicket, wasn't he? He looked pretty sure that was going on to the off stump. I think. Is that kind of low? I think he probably had to get forward to that kind of low, quick trajectory. But as we were just saying, that is it's a key wicket. Just getting them down to 138 for 9. It is going to be harder to now get that 150, 160, 170 score, isn't it? Because those two batsmen had put themselves in a decent position to just put on an extra 20, 30 runs, making it that bit harder to chase. Van Zyl's taken a key wicket. Hadn't looked, hadn't bowled too many wicket-taking balls, but that's that's a good enough one to get straight on at the stumps there, isn't it?
Yeah, he picks up his first wicket of the day. I'm sure he's looking for his second wicket now as well to close out this innings. And this time it will be Nasrullah Rana on strike. Nasrullah Rana might be a simple equation of trying to get off strike and letting Ehsan Nawaz face as many deliveries as possible. Nawaz, of course, batting undefeated on 14 of 30. There you go, thickish inside edge. He's off the mark. It's just going to be a single. I think now it's a simple equation here for Ehsan Nawaz. He's the main man right now for Pakistan Association.
Yeah, for me in this instance, you go for it. I think every ball is an opportunity to try and hit some runs, and you got to hit runs and go, really, don't you? Yeah, here we go.
He does go for it. Has he got the elevation? Absolutely not. Finds deep mid wicket, and Pakistan Association have been bowled out for just 139 inside 43 overs. Ehsan Nawaz tried to strike the first maximum of the day and perished in the process. 139 all out. Max, is it enough?
I don't think that will be enough, no. I was a bit concerned when I started the comms. 30 for nothing, or 38 for nothing, I think it might have been. That was back at what, 10:20? 10:05, 5 past 10, something like that. But no, I think HKCC have bowled very well. There's no doubt about that. I think they had a plan. They executed it well. I think both Kapoor and Jones put in a hell of a spell. Adil and Finn started that off very well, and I think Wallace played a key little couple of overs in there as well. He bowled 6 for 21, 6 overs, 1 for 21.
But actually, when he came in, there were just certain times throughout the innings where, they wanted a bit of pace on the ball and needed a bit of pace on the ball. And, PACC just never managed to have an answer to anything from the bowling attack today. So yeah, it's going to be a great chase. Looking forward to seeing a couple of the batsmen get out and go after it this afternoon after lunch.
No, 100%, mate. You hit the nail on the head there. I think for Pakistan Association fans, you're a bit of a bad omen.
Yeah,
when you walk
it,
to the comm box, yeah. 2 phases of play for Pakistan Association fans.
They'll want me to start travelling around if you're not careful. It's one of the best bowling performances I've seen for quite some time, and hopefully they can back it up with the bat. But I'm sure PACC will come out firing as well. I think thinking back onto the, I know it's different, but thinking back on the 2020 game between these two sides, the HKCC didn't have many answers for the PACC bowling attack from memory. So that will definitely be a couple of interesting matchups, won't it? So very much looking forward to watching.
Yeah, no doubt. And don't go too far. Join us in around, I want to say 30 minutes from now for the second half of this game. HKCC, the home side, need 140 runs to win. I'm your commentator for the day, one of 2 commentators, Jay Dansagani. If you like what you've heard, you can follow me on Twitter at Jay Dansagani. A big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Gencor, for sponsoring the Gencor CHK Men's One-Day Premier League. Max Robles, I'll see you and the rest of the viewers back here in around 30 minutes from now. Mid-wicket, mid-on, both up in the circle. Mid-off, up in the circle. Here we go, free hit. Bang, he goes leg side, in front to square, in fact. A professional commentator and a more than professional production crew as well. That's too wide, slapped away, brilliant. Just letting him know, mate, you gotta stay away from that area. Last ball of the 8th over.
He's still putting it up at a decent pace, but I think sometimes he can just drop it that short of a length that kind of, given his height, it pops up. It's just a different.
That's a good shot, loaded with 2 straight there. It looks like it's going to be Hamid Khan's third. Yeah, absolutely, especially the Asim Murtaza. What a fantastic Asian Cup, Asim Murtaza. Bat and with ball. The top wicket taker as well in the T20 Premier League. Look at that.
Great to watch. I think the kind of new format is really good and a great, example of cricket globally.
Oh, it's a good shot. Splits that gap between mid-off. But that one coming on with the with the arm.
I think also in terms of overrate in this period of the game, getting a spinner on can, suddenly.
Oh, that's taken. There in Hong Kong still. Tanveer Asal. High elbow, just about clearing that man at mid-off. Ninad Shah. Oh, he's unable to cut that off, so a bit of a streaky boundary.
Yeah, 2 full that one, sadly. Runs and 1 wicket.
What's that as well? Just the left-hander. See, what that ball coming now back into the left-hander can do. Just got Kapoor running in here.
There you go, a bit straight. In fact, I think he's found the gap.
He's found a back of a length. If that is holding up, it can be a bit easier for the batsman. Charlie usually has quite a low trajectory, so this could actually just maybe see a bit of a better carry on.
Oh, good hands through the ball. He's found the gap as well.
I hope so. I think it looks like maybe rain
maybe 4 o'clock onwards, maybe a tiny bit earlier. Hopefully that manages to stay away from us here.
Oh, it's got high on him. Should be an easy catch, and yes, it's
around the pitch. You know, I think that was the first short ball, wasn't it? I don't think he was maybe fully expecting it either.
Oh, that's too straight. Finn Ridley will not cut this off.
Keeping him on here is this Murtaza battle, isn't it? I think he's bowled a really nice line to the left-hander over the last one and a half overs. Maiden last over.
That's up in the air. It's taken.
Side, wasn't it? A bit of front foot drive, back foot drive. It was just getting that a great little line just outside off stump to hold on, and just saw that kind of thick edge to.
That's uppish. Oh, look at that, just to the right.
Which is from HKCC at all. You know, a couple of wides. There's one no ball earlier, I think.
Oh, that's up in the air. Change of pace. This could be the 6th wicket. Yes, absolutely.
Up inside the circle somewhere. He's still got a slip in place. The ball's just popped up there to kind of a short cover, short extra cover, but not so short, is it?
That's a big.
Apologies for that, folks. Commentator's just taking a quick break. 105 for 7. Last ball of the 33rd over. Adil Mahmood.
Martin Kutsia early on in the next innings as well after lunch.
I tell you what, a quick fire half century from Martin Kutsia.
Set them up very well.
Yeah, we're taking an early cab home. Oh, once again an outside edge. It beats. And they have to pick up early wickets, especially Martin Kutsia. That's a little too straight. Flicked down to deep fine leg, who's got some work to do.
Great spell of bowling from him. Start off his 50 over Premier League campaign.
Yeah, it's been a good start. Ooh, once again, uppish. In fact, he's found the gap there.
Yep.
First boundary for either mid-wicket or cover throughout this innings. Oh, look at that, bit of bounce. Just beating the right-hander. In fact, it runs down to the boundary. Waiting for the signal. I think
coming into bat in 10 overs or so. It's the first ball that's really kept low on the wicket.
Uppish, and he's found that gap. In fact, he goes over backward point and picks
up. The top 4 needs to hit 50, 60 plus, or a couple people do. And that's you know, that bridge of 50 runs is definitely the difference between.
Ooh, that's a big appeal, but I think there's an inside edge, maybe.
In this instance, you go for it. I think every ball is an opportunity to try and hit some runs, and you got to hit runs and go, really, don't you? Yeah,
he does go for it. Has he got the elevation? Absolutely not. Finds deep mid-wicket, and Pakistan Association have been bowled out for just 139 inside 43 overs. Ehsan Nawaz tried to strike the first maximum of the day and perished in the process. 139 all out. Max, is it